non-stop intensity. Can he hold up when it matters most? That answer could define the entire playoff run.
The one that's got me worried is Aaron Gordon, because this is a pattern with him. The soft tissue injuries, it's what's really set him back the last year plus. And here we are 6 games before understanding that if this team is going to make a deep run in the playoffs, you're talking about a month and a half, 2 months of just really intense playoff basketball. I'm just really worried about this guy being able to hold up.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Everything is getting more expensive. Gas, groceries, and especially rent, which can go up every single year. But as a homeowner, you have a secret weapon. While the world gets pricier, a fixed-rate mortgage stays exactly the same. That stability isn't just peace of mind, it's your family's financial foundation. American Financing understands home ownership creates wealth. Every monthly payment builds equity and stacks your net worth on autopilot. It's how the middle class actually wins the long game. Your home is a flexible asset. You can live in it, rent it out for passive income, or pass it down to your children. Renting gives you none of that. American Financing salary-based mortgage consultants can help you get pre-qualified with no upfront fees. Call American Financing today and get a pre-qualification letter in 24 hours or less. Call them at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000 or online at AmericanFinancing.net. Secure your rate, build your wealth, and get the cash you need. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found tax relief advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax Relief Advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
Hey, what's up? It's Zach here. And if you're looking for your new go-to spot in Centennial, the Basketball Social House is it. Award-winning food and drinks, an incredible weekend brunch, and a brand new sports bar entertainment space where you can catch every Colorado game. Even if you're not playing, it's a great hang. But if you are, their private basketball suites are unreal. Full court, lounge, music, TVs, the whole setup. And because you're hearing this from me, get half off your first private basketball suite rental. Just use code HALFOFFHOOPS. Trust me, you're going to love this place.
If your heating and cooling system isn't keeping up, now's the time to upgrade. Enjoy better performance, improved indoor air quality, and energy savings with a new Bryant heating and cooling system. For a limited time, take advantage of rebates, incentives, and 0% financing on select Bryant systems. For quick fixes or entirely new heating and cooling systems, Bryant will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort. Visit BryantColorado.com to find a local Bryant dealer today. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Introducing Mine to Shine, the world's most personal diamond. Here's Shayna and Dylan Williams.
Come experience the most revolutionary and transparent way to buy a diamond.
Mine to Shine by Kwiat and Williams Jewelers. The natural diamonds cut, polished, and designed just for you.
First, we'll help you select a natural, conflict-free, and ethically mined diamond.
Then you select one of Kwiat's legendary shapes. Kwiat Cushion, Oval, Radiant, Emerald, or Incredible Ashoka.
A wider, brighter, and larger looking diamond, cut to the world's highest standards.
Then trace the journey from rough stone to polished perfection by Kwiat's master cutters.
Perfectly cut for maximum brilliance. Simply brilliant.
Mine to Shine, the world's most personal diamond.
Only from Williams Jewelers of Inglewood, Colorado's exclusive Kwiat jeweler.
Where Colorado shines.
Williams Jewelers, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
The official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche. Williams Jewelers, where Colorado shines.
Names that rhyme, takes that hit different. Shapiro and Piro is happy hour sports talk built for the modern fan. Local stories, hidden gems, and the mustache monologues you never knew you needed. Weekdays at 3 p.m. on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan YouTube channel. Subscribe now at Denver Sports 104.3 and get in on the action. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
Off and rolling. Here on a Tuesday, March 31st, the final day of the month. What up, Phil?
What's going on? Woo! Let's get it. Got the Avs dominating.
Oh my
the
gosh.
Rockies dominating.
Oh my gosh.
Come on.
Oh my gosh.
Doesn't get any better than that, man.
It's all happening. It's all happening.
It's happening so fast, man. I had to take a step back. I was on my couch, and I was winded watching the Avs and the Rockies and what was going on and how many runs were scored, and then for the Avs.
Dude, it was happening at the same time.
At the same time. How did you even do what you had to do? Because you're at the Avs game, but I know you're watching the Rockies game probably on the phone, right?
I was following it on my phone, but I already knew what I was in store for. It was going to be a late night, and I was going to have to go back and watch the Rockies in the morning. But when I found out what was happening while I was at the game, it was Mike who shared the score with me, Evans. He said, hey, I think the Rockies are up like 7-1 or whatever he said. And I'm like, what? And I knew the Rocks were up 1-0. Yeah. Like when I think I left here, I think it was like 1-0. And
the sixth inning.
And I go down there, and he says that. I'm like, holy smoke. So then I didn't have the patience for the morning. After I got home and got my kid in bed and poured myself a cocktail, I was catching up on what was going on up in Toronto. And we'll get to that in just a second. I want to continue having the conversation we were just having, but within reason. I don't want to get carried away.
No, that's fine. You said you did some pushback.
Yeah, in terms of like, and this is completely like we're like stumbling upon this conversation because, okay, I was next to the Avs bench last night.
Yeah, for
a period of hockey, and watching Nathan MacKinnon and how he is wired is really unique. Even, look, I've watched Nathan MacKinnon's entire career. I know him like as much as you can know him from someone covering him. I know him, and I still saw a new layer from him last night that is just like there was something scary behind his eyes, and I was right next to him on the bench.
Okay, so this is what the cameras are not covering this. So the camera's not showing, like, this is you sitting there, front row on the glass. All right, so either you're on the glass or you're up there in a suite. We got that. We get it now. We get it now, ZB. All right. And you're watching Nate Dogg.
Yeah, and I'll share that little anecdote. And I have a story to tell from last night that's it's just beyond blessed and thankful and all the things that I'll get to here in just a second.
Stories, man. You're so detailed. All right, I wish I could be in story time with you during bedtime.
Well, this involved my kid last night, and I'll get to it here in just a second. But we started talking about, we're talking about Greg Penner.
Yes.
That's how we got started on it. And we were talking about how, like, when I came back in here from the AFC Championship game, and when you feel the intensity of that environment and the emotion of that environment and the importance and the seriousness, if you win that game, you go to the biggest game in all of American sport. And I said to you, man, my hope is that Greg gets obsessed with this.
He gets addicted to the way it feels.
Yes, yeah, addicted. I hope he gets addicted is what I said. And we started talking about, hey, Nathan MacKinnon's addicted. And Nikola Jokic is addicted and obsessed. And I think that
you put the brakes on. You pump the brakes.
He is because I don't believe that you achieve that level of greatness without working for it. But a lot of Jokic's ability is incredibly natural. Like, they knew Nikola Jokic was like a basketball prodigy in Serbia, but they had to beg him to come to practice. They had to create a reward system for him to come to practice. And, you know, when you the reason that, and this is why I don't even want to go too far into these waters because it seems like
there's some sharks in there right now.
There's no doubt, but like a shark is Nathan MacKinnon, and I don't know if Nathan MacKinnon and Nikola Jokic actually belong side by side in the obsession.
Why though? Like when you're saying this, why? Because you saw something obviously from Nate Dogg that like changed your maybe your perspective, or even went deeper with. Okay, this is why he's great. Michael Jordan. There's a reason why he's great.
Yes.
Kobe Bryant. There's a reason why he's great.
Yes.
They have some type of attitude. Tom Brady's another one.
Yes.
They have this attitude about them where they don't care, but they're obsessed. And all they care about is winning, and they do it over and over and over and over, and they sacrifice even time with their family because they're so addicted to what they're doing.
Well, I think that you can. Jokic is great. Jokic is an all-time great. See, this is why I don't even want to really, because it seems like I'm disparaging Jokic, and I don't mean to in any way, shape, or form. I just don't know if the level of psychotic obsession is the same that it is with someone like MacKinnon. And I would point to a couple different things. One, Jokic's body, outside about 2 years of his career, like even this year, he's heavier again. Yeah. You see that, right? Yep. And we've talked about that.
After he got hurt.
He's just, and I'm sure he'll continue to lose some more weight. But even him coming into the year, it wasn't like the year where his body didn't look the same as the championship year, okay? He does the interview, the most expansive interview that he's ever done, quite frankly, with his Serbian buddy that has the podcast and is a play-by-play guy. And what was the continuous theme that you had to acknowledge?
Booze.
Yes, you had to acknowledge. If you listened to the hour or 2 hour, whatever it was super long, and you had to read the subtitles, the man drinks regularly, he made it sound like he drinks almost every night.
Oh yeah, but my pushback to that is, so did Michael Jordan. There were stories about how they would stop for my man to go and get a drink, get back on the bus, and then go out there and bust somebody's ass. He would be on the golf course. You've had these
He played
stories.
36 holes and drank a 12-pack and go drop 40.
Because he was just that damn good.
Yes. I just Jokic is an all-time great. Jokic has been a basketball prodigy since he was 11 or 12 years old. I just don't know if the level of psychotic obsession belongs side by side with someone like MacKinnon. That's all. And because Nate,
we get it. Nobody touches Nate Dogg.
No.
Nobody puts Nate Dogg in the corner.
No, because you're talking to me. Who's my Denver sports king?
I thought it was Jokic.
I don't think anyone is on Jokic's block in terms of his footprint within the sport, the things that he's done.
You're just saying mentality-wise, Nate Dogg is different. And the way he approaches things is different than even Jokic.
Correct.
But it shows that there's different ways that you can be great.
Yes, they're just different. So Jamal Murray, not this year, the previous 2 years has been, if you wiped everyone's memory clean and you look at Jamal Murray over the last 2 years, you look at someone that averages 20 points a game in the NBA.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's incredible. But are you obsessed? The answer's been no.
No.
So you're great at what you do without being obsessed. And I just think those things can be just different things. But I do agree with what Dover said. Jokic's level of commitment has risen incredibly. The seriousness in which he takes all of this has risen incredibly. And again, they're just different human beings. They're just different people. But yeah, that is a curveball conversation that I did not see coming. But I will say this. Last night at Ball Arena was epic. It was epic for a few different reasons that we'll get into next.
All season, we've assumed that Jared Bednar might be gone if the Avalanche didn't win the Stanley Cup. But now there are reports that he will get a contract extension as long as Colorado gets out of the first round.
Please don't tell me expectations are lower. A report is a report is a report. But I just don't like the idea of short of a first-round exit, he's good. Are we sure?
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
What's going on, everybody? Phillip Lindsay here. And guys, let's talk about the erectile dysfunction problem you may be having, right? You might be squirming in your seat saying, hey, how do you know all this? It's more common than you think. And ED is an intimacy destroyer, and research out there shows that men can draw away from their partners when ED affects their sex life. The conditions can cause stress, anxiety, depression, and even worse, a man's partner can blame themselves when ED becomes a problem, and nobody's partner should be blaming themselves. This is on you. But my guys at Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic are here to help you out because their treatments work when the pills and herbals fail you. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%, and some of their treatments can have you last an hour or even more. What you have to do is schedule a consult with Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic today. Your initial visit is only $99, and this will include a medical consult with a Colorado licensed medical provider, a T and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And here's the thing, gentlemen, if the test dose does not work in the office, the visit is free. They also have 5 locations out there to serve you as well, so there are no excuses. Go get treated. You can go to Fort Collins, North Denver, Central Denver, Castle Rock, and Colorado Springs. So give them a call today at 720-440-7900 or visit RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. That's RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
On top of home and auto, Progressive protects your boat, RV, and motorcycle so you can explore the unknown.
Actually, we just take the RV to the same campground every year.
Well, maybe you can catch your own dinner on your boat.
Oh, we can actually get pizza delivered there from this brick oven place we love.
Will you at least try a new topping?
Honestly, probably not. We kind of have a go-to order.
Fine. Just bundle home or auto insurance with your outdoor vehicles with Progressive and stay protected when you go, I guess, where you've gone before. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to carshield.com. That's carshield.com today.
Stoke here for my team, ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Through March, when you install a new cold climate heat pump system with my team at ROX, you get a free whole home water filtration system. Cleaner air, cleaner water. Now that's a winning combination. Upgrade your home comfort and take advantage of this huge offer while it lasts, but only from my team, ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX Rocks Heating and Air.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Your reputation matters. That's why so many landscape professionals choose Gravely. You can save up to 20% on Gravely commercial mowers during the Gravely Mow the Distance sales event starting April 9th. Visit your local Gravely dealer today. Opening day is here. Join Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan at the Thirsty Lion at Union Station this Friday as we broadcast live from 10 to 6. Stop by for pregame fun and your chance to win a $250 Thirsty Lion gift card. Thirsty Lion. Come as strangers, leave as friends.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Restore your bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning hair with the same simple one-day treatment I receive from Dr. Tanya Pauls of Advanced Hair. Your own natural hair begins regrowing the very next day, and your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. For your free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts, call 720-459-HAIR, AdvancedHair.com.
Get the fastest local alerts and accurate 24/7 forecasts with WeatherBug. It's easy to use, so the weather never takes you by surprise. Download the free WeatherBug app today.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by Roller Auction.
You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Last night at Ball Arena, it was epic. In a way that was unique.
Last night, they were letting liquor talk, huh?
Dude, last night was insane. And I've been to a lot of Colorado Avalanche games through the years. All right, that was my first ever sporting event that I went to when I came to Denver, and I've never stopped going to the games. And I have so much fun. And
You got hooked.
there's no question about it. And it was easy to get hooked when you're pulling into town in 2017, and they're just getting this operation like off the ground in a meaningful way where you're like, man, could these guys one day like win the Stanley Cup? And then they do it, and it just increases the addiction. And so I'm picking out my clothes this morning, and I'm grabbing my Avs sweater, right?
Come on now.
And so
a little big on you, man. All the monkey bar pull-ups are paying off.
So, man, last night, I mean, you watched the game.
Oh, yeah.
How insane was that?
At one point, Z, I'm like, man, this is embarrassing for the Flames. Like, you are a professional team that's just getting taken to Pound Town. And it's one of these games, like, I've been a part of games on both sides of it, where you just get your ass handed to you. And honestly, we got our ass handed to us. It was the Denver Broncos, 2018, the Jets. The Jets just put it to us.
That's right.
And they were a bad team.
Isaiah Crowell and Bilal Powell.
Exactly.
Combining for like 300 rushing yards.
If they're a bad team, then what does that make us? And I was second guessing the whole team, and I was a rookie at that time. And then I've been on the other side of it, even with the Houston Texans, where we're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we just take it to them, and we're having fun, we're laughing. It's one of these games where you're just enjoying yourself, and everybody gets to eat. And that's exactly what the Avs did last night. Yeah, everybody got to go. Everybody got an opportunity, a crack at that goal.
Yeah, it was hilariously fun. I mean, when they scored their 8th goal to go up 8-1, everyone in my section literally, like, they were clapping, but everyone was just kind of like collectively laughing. Like it was like, and that's where you get the phrase, like, it was a laugher.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close. Last night was the definition. You look up a laugher in the sports dictionary, and you get the 9-2 win over the Flames last night. And I'm here to tell you, that group, starting in the second period, became loosey-goosey. All right? If they kept the seriousness that they had in the first 9 minutes, they could have scored 15, 16 goals on Calgary last night. There were lanes so wide on that ice, you could have driven a Zamboni through them, okay? And it was the best. It was only 8 other times in the history of Avalanche hockey has this team scored 9 goals, and last night was the 9th time that they've ever did it. And to see Nazem Kadri not pay back, because they really did him such a solid. One, they paid him out of his nose, and then they traded him back to the team that he left from and took on some of the money that they're helping the Avs pay for.
No bad blood. No bad blood there.
No. He owes him a thank you card. But to watch him score his 15th and his 16th goal, and this guy has been lights out since coming back to Colorado. Really cool sight last night.
And it was even better sight to see that Kadri was able to score those 2 goals on the power play. All right, we sit here and we talk about how the power play is getting better. Well, guess what? Kadri's a part of that power play. All of a sudden, he's in that mix, and things are a lot better. The puck is being moved around a lot faster. Everybody seems to be in the right places. This is great for the Avs moving forward, and then for Kadri to be able to put 2 in the back of the net on the power play.
Come on.
Take that, Flames.
Come on.
I mean, it was fun to watch.
It was so fun. And by the way, that power play went 3 of 4 last night. Come on. So that means, just so we're all on the same page, the Avs power play, which now has 15 goals in the month of March, the Avs have more power play goals in the month of March than they had in December, January, and February combined.
Z, it's no longer a problem. The power play is not the issue anymore. The penalty kill, it's not the issue.
Perfect again. Fourth straight game.
Oh, so it's 4 now.
Yeah.
All right, I was counting in my head. You know I don't do math well. And so it's 4 now of just dominant. And guess what? LOC back in the mix?
Yep.
No-brainer. He does a great job of killing off penalties. It's happening. It's working, man. This Avs team is ready. It's fine-tuning themselves. and they got a couple more games left. 9 games left to go. All right, they have to stay healthy, though. So we talk about the power play. We talk about the penalty kill with the special teams, and that's no longer the issue. Now the issue becomes you got 9 games left. Can you keep these dudes healthy so that you can make that long run in the postseason? And you know who I'm talking about.
Of course.
All hail Kale, man. What's going on with that?
Yeah, he didn't come out and play in the third period. But I'll say this. I think that if you're looking for a silver lining, he finished the second period after he slammed his shoulder area into the boards. He finished the period. Now, a lot of times an athlete just has adrenaline going and you finish and then you wake up the next morning and you're like, whoa, and then there's a hairline fracture and whatever.
See, I knew you were an athlete back in the days. Only an athlete would know that, man. It happened with me too with my toe. All right, I broke my toe and I didn't think I broke it. Now it hurt, but I'm like, okay, I got stepped on. That next day, x-ray show, broke. And so, like, you just don't know what's going on when your mindset is, let's play the sport full go. And someone like Kale, maybe today, of course, it's sore. You get in that MRI machine. Hopefully nothing's torn. Hopefully nothing's severe so he can get going here and maybe take a couple days off and get ready to go in the postseason.
Well, it was one of the more unique games that I have ever been to. And for my money, it was the best first period for the Colorado Avalanche since going back to period number 1, game number 1, round number 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs in 2022 when they went and won the Stanley Cup. And they played Nashville. And the first 10 minutes of the first period, plus with the playoff importance and just angst hanging in the balance, and you think they can do it, and it's the first game, first period, they had 4 goals on the board in like the first 12 minutes. It was one of the most electric environments I've ever been in. I'll remember it for the rest of my life. Last night obviously didn't have the importance of that. It's a Monday night, right? Against the Flames, who aren't very good. Out. But to have 5 goals in the first period, to have 4 on the board with 10 minutes left in the opening period is insane. I mean, that is psychotic. That is dominant. And it was just, like I said, hilariously fun I laid 2.5 goals, right? I bet the game. I know I'm going to be at the game. I bet the game. I'm not going to bet the 1.5. I'm going to bet -2.5 because I think they're that much better than Calgary. I knew I was going to win my bet with 10 minutes left in the first period. That should be impossible.
That has to feel good.
Dude, that should be impossible. And the fact that in the closing minutes, and I'm a leave early guy.
Of course. I am too.
And if any game you were going to leave early, it's one that you win 9-2, right? Because of some circumstance that I'll talk about here in a second, we wanted to stay for the whole game. The crowd was chanting, "We want 10." With 2 minutes left, "We want 10?" Like, what an unbelievable chant.
Damn, are you not entertained? Do you want us to put 10 on them?
I mean, it was just so cool, man. It was so cool. McKinnon, a goal and 2 assists. Marty, a goal and 2 assists. Jack Jury, a goal and 2 assists. Parker Kelly, have a season. Parker Kelly, are you kidding me? A goal and 2 assists. Sam Malinsky, Landy. I mean, it was just a free-for-all. And it was such a cool evening because we really don't even have a lot of time to get into it here. I'll try to summarize it real quick.
No, I want it to be...
Okay.
You got to be detailed, Z.
Okay. Last night was a night that I will literally remember for the rest of my life. And it involves my kid, Gabe Landeskog, Scott Wedgwood.
All right.
The official.
All right.
That was doing the game. And I'll give you the details next.
Baseball is back. And Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is leading off the season in style. Join us Friday, April 3rd for our home opener party at Thirsty Lion Restaurant at Union Station. Dover and Cecil will get the party started live from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Then the Tribe will come out of the bullpen to close things out from 2 to 6.
How about that?
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
I lost 60 pounds a few years ago with SodaWeightLoss.com, and it's never coming back. I am never gaining that weight back because I learned how to eat, what to eat, and when to eat with SodaWeightLoss.com. You can join Soda for a short time that have results that last a lifetime. Call them up at 1-866-800-SODA. That's 1-866-800-SODA. Or go online to SodaWeightLoss.com. And I lost those 60 pounds, and I'm never going back because of the personalized touch that SodaWeightLoss.com gives you with a personal nutritionist that's always available via text when you have questions, you have concerns. Sometimes you just need encouragement on your weight loss journey, have a friend there. Have your personal nutritionist there for you. It's sodaweightloss.com. It's changed my life. I look and feel 10 years younger, and I love it. You'll love it too. Go to sodaweightloss.com. Again, call them up 1-866-800-SODA. Join Soda for a short time to have results that last a lifetime. At sodaweightloss.com. SOTA is, say it with me, state of the art.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to carshield.com. That's carshield.com today.
I need a little range, step to the range.
There's a new flavor in town, the Jalapeno Ranch Club at Chick-fil-A. With that juicy Chick-fil-A original spicy or grilled chicken, a buttermilk ranch bun, candied bacon, pepper jack cheese, and jalapeno ranch sauce. It's got big ranch vibes with a little heat. Chick-fil-A's new Jalapeno Ranch Club. Available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
Brandon Stokely from my friends at Roller Auction, leader in Colorado auctions for over 40 years. They conduct over 150 auctions every year, selling tens of thousands of items at the price you set. Auctions are held regularly for Colorado government agencies, and they always have big-ticket items at great prices. That's why I love Roller Auction. And almost all bidding is conducted online in real time, and it's open to the public. Anyone can participate. Check back regularly. New auctions are added weekly. Be the first to know about new auctions available for bidding when you sign up for email notifications. Go to rollerauction.com/thefan.
Tune in Tuesday afternoons for Injury Insights with Zach Bai and Dr. Joseph Ramos to hear the latest injury news on your local teams and around the world of sports. Ramos Law. What makes us different makes us better.
Still haven't filed your taxes? You're not alone, but the longer you wait, the harder the IRS can hit back. Penalties, interest, letters, none of it goes away on its own. At Advanced Tax Solutions, resolving IRS problems is all they do. Whether you're a year behind or 10, their licensed tax professionals can step in fast, stop the stress, and help you get back on track. Don't let another day slip by. A quick call could mean a quick resolution. Contact my friends at Advanced Tax Solutions today and take control of your tax situation before the IRS does.
In the big tourney, everything comes down to the buzzer. In business, the buzzer sounds when the lights go out. That's why commercial and industrial facilities trust Piper Electric. For over 40 years, they've delivered expert electrical construction, service and maintenance, fire alarm systems, and large-scale power distribution. Their licensed electricians are safety-driven, highly skilled, and built for complex projects. Starting a new project? Include Piper Electric in your bid process to save you time, money, and headaches along the way. Visit piperelectric.com.
Zach Bai here for 5280 Exteriors. Guys, we've had the driest winter in decades. Protect your home with fire-resistant, non-combustible, low-maintenance upgrades built to handle Colorado's extreme weather. 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
Ditch the bland, flavorless sports talk and tune into Freshly Grated, where Will Peterson and Marcello Romano serve up piping hot takes and bold opinions with no filter and an extra side of sarcasm. Every weekday at 2 p.m. on the Denver Sports 1043 The Fan YouTube channel. Like and subscribe today at Denver Sports 1043 and come along for the ride. Denver Sports 1043 The Fan. It's The Drive with Zach Bai and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
All right, last night at Ball Arena was absolutely epic.
I can't wait to hear this.
Yeah, we're so close to the playoffs starting, and you're seeing the team just sort of, after, I don't know, like 5 minutes of scuffling a little bit and not winning at home.
Yeah.
You could see that was a point of emphasis. The way that they came out last night.
Handling business.
The way that they started, though. This has not been a fast-starting team in the last 3 weeks, especially at home. Bednar, after the game, I think he said, in our last 8 home losses, we've only scored first in 2 of the 8. So clearly, like, that was a point of emphasis. They came out, they kicked the door down to the game. I mean, I almost felt bad for Dustin Wolf, the goaltender who got chased after just 9 minutes of action, replaced by former DU Payo, Devin Cooley, by the way. So shout out, Pios, Frozen 4.
Well, who was it when it was a hockey game and they were getting smacked and they put somebody in, the goalie in, and said, go out there and take the hits.
Yeah, I know,
You know what I'm
what
talking
game
about?
you're talking about. Yes. Yeah. Yes, I think it was for the Avs last year.
It was for the Avs.
Yeah, was it, God, when it was just like, go out there and take some rubber.
Take the rubber.
Oh, my God, who was it? I forget. It'll come to me in a second. But anyway, so it was just such a fun night at Ball Arena, and I was just so lucky to be there. And how about this, like for symmetry? McKinnon reached 120 points. Netjes got to 90 points. Brock Nelson gets to 60 points. Kadri gets to 50 points. And Parker Kelly gets to 30 points.
The get-right game.
All in the same night.
Everybody gets to eat.
Those are big benchmarks for each of those guys, for each of their own individual, aim and what's realistic for those guys. Just really cool to see. But, so, last night was a special night. It's going to make the jar, I'll say that. So we have this jar at our house that when something special happens, good happens, you write it down on a piece of paper.
Oh, that's cool.
You fold it and you put it in the jar. And then on New Year's, you open the jar and you go over the year. And it's an idea that my wife found on like social media, like Pinterest somewhere.
I like it.
No, it's her friend Maggie. Her friend Maggie gave her the idea, so we've been doing it for a couple of years. And do
they got a bad jar for you too? All the naughty stuff you do.
No bad jar. No,
pull that one
I
out.
might have a jar with some bad stuff in it, but no bad jar for ZB. No, it's just a way of actively being thankful and remembering your year.
I love it.
And the good stuff that happened to you. So this will make the jar. So let me just give you the full scope of this story. So a few years ago, it was you and I on the air together, I'm pretty sure. Because Drew was our producer. And Drew came in from the control room, which is behind the glass, and he said, hey, there's a guy on the RamosLaw.com text line who said, I made an offhanded comment. I was like, there's a noon game this weekend, or maybe it was whatever.
And you
it was an
wanted to
early
take your
game.
kid.
Yeah, and I said, there's an early game this weekend. Maybe that's a good target to take my kid, who was 5 at the time. And this listener, and I'm saying listener because I would love to give him credit, he doesn't want me to say his name, okay? So there's that. And Drew said, hey, there's this listener on the RamosLaw.com text line. He wants to give you his tickets, and I've gone through and I look at previous texts, because when you text in, we can see every text that you've ever sent. And a reminder to some of you psychos out there.
Oh, they don't care.
I'm
going to text you right now.
And he said he says he wants to give you his tickets. He seems like a normal guy based on the things that he's texted in. So I started communicating with him, and he gives us his tickets. And I didn't accept them until the day that we were going to go to the game. So I accept the tickets, and holy crap, we realize that the seats are on the glass.
Put them on the glass.
Okay, so my son's first Avalanche game was seats that were on the glass. And let me just say this. This is the anti-childhood that I had, okay? Single mom, 2 boys, broken home, child support didn't always come in.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of times where that happened, where we were literally living below the poverty level. We didn't go to games. Okay? And the first time that I did go to a game, when I was like 9 or 10, we were sitting at the very, very, very top of Fenway in Boston. And so I want to say that because this is not my frame of reference. This is not my experience. But through this job, it's created and opened doors for my son that I would have never even dreamed of asking for.
He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know how special, how lucky he is for this. At some point, he will. Everything will start to click. Like, damn, Dad's always on the glass, up top in the suite. Like, this is the life.
And I try to actively talk to him about this, but you only get what you get at that age, right?
Sure.
So anyway, this listener has given us these tickets 3 years in a row. Okay, so he sat in these seats 1 game a year at 5 years old, 6 years old, and last night at 7 years old. And the seats are they used to be tucked right against the visitor's bench. Now they're tucked right against the home bench. So we are separated by a piece of plexiglass from Mackenzie Blackwood. But it wasn't me, because my wife hasn't had this experience. So when my guy reached out and said, hey, pick a game, she said, well, maybe, can I go this year? And I said, absolutely not. Stay in your lane.
I knew you were the audacity that you even asked that.
No. So it happened to be on a night where our company had a suite.
Uh-huh.
And we do have a suite part-time at Ball Arena. Bonneville International does it. And once in a while, they want us to go and hang out with some of our clients and stuff. And it's a blessing that they ask. But it happened on the same night that we had these seats. So I'm like, we can all go to the game. We'll all drive down together. I'll go hang out with my guys from work. You and Owen go sit on the glass, and we'll exchange maybe during the game, and I can get maybe a period with them. So, dude, there's a lot here. One, the biggest thing that happened is, and I can't believe this is real, Gabe Landeskog took a liking to my son in a way that you could just never predict to happen, okay? And the game's a laugher, so I think that's part of it.
Yeah, everybody is loose.
Yep, so he's got the mental bandwidth within the game to have these micro interactions with my son.
Turning on and off.
Dude, so he would skate by my son during a timeout and just look at him and give him a smile. Little stuff like that. But then, during a timeout, Gabe's redoing his tape, on his stick. And my son puts his hand up against the glass. And Landeskog sees it and gives him like the heartiest pound. Not like a quick one. Like, keep it there for a second. Look at him and smile.
Now, this is on your social media. Is this the one that's on your social media?
Yes. My wife took the video.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting with him at the moment. But the captain is taking a moment during the game to give my 7-year-old son a pound. At one point, and I can't believe this is real, and unfortunately, I didn't see this, but my wife is texting me. She goes, there's something going on. This is the text I get. There's something going on between Gabe and Owen. Like, what the hell kind of text message is that?
Like Owen's beating up Gabe right now.
There's something going on with Gabe and Owen. I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, like, he keeps making eyes with him. He's messing with him. And then she's like, oh, my God, he just gave him a pound. It got to a point where Gabe Landeskog, during a timeout, guys, takes his stick and scoops up some snow from the ice and dumps it over the glass on my kid. Dude, the best. Just the best. And I have to catch myself from getting emotional because it was such a awesome experience for him. That's his favorite player, Phil. Because he watched the documentary.
He loves him
of coming back. He thinks he knows him. And so to have that interaction, and I think if I were to try to go psychiatrist of like, now one, let me just, I'm acknowledging that because he was in a position of privilege, he had a chance and opportunity to interact with Gabe. Because it could have happened to a kid 10 rows back who's just not in that seat. But because he was this intersection of this blowout and this happening, so Gabe gives him a pound, is smiling at him through the game, is dumping snow on him. He's icing him, they'll call it. They're dumping snow on him.
Making him a snowman.
I just couldn't believe it. And so Scott Wedgwood, in the third period, remember he had that highlight save where he drops to his butt and plucks that piece of rubber out of thin air like a shortstop?
Jumping up and down.
Dude,
hurt my knee doing it.
Wedgwood comes over immediately. So right after that, they went to commercial, if you remember. Mm-hmm. So because I went back and watched it, seeing if I could catch it. I didn't. But right after the save, Wedgwood comes over. First thing he does, these goalies get in their routines. Because we sat in similar seats. Mackenzie Blackwood wouldn't even look at us.
He just got his, it's a different beast when you're a goalie, man. You're always focused.
Yep, and I like that's your process. I get it. But Wedgwood comes over, skates over it, man, and gives my son a pound over the glass. The referee, again, I can't explain this stuff. He comes over and he taps the glass with a piece of rubber, drops the puck over the glass. And so it was just so special. And Kadri, when he finishes the game and he's the number one star, he does the interview. And there my wife and son are behind them. It was an incredible experience. One that I certainly never came close to having as a kid. But because of this job, it's opened doors where he has irreplaceable experiences that you could literally only dream of.
You know what, Z? That's all we have in life is creating memories and moments with the ones we love. So when you do get those opportunities, man, I know you get very emotional, but it's maybe, and I'm not a psychiatrist, but it's triggering to you because you never got those opportunities.
Never
and your
close.
son's sitting there on the glass being able to soak all this in, and you get to be there right by him with your wife too, by the way.
So special.
You know, me as I'm sorry, you guys just left her at the house. She said, you're not allowed to be there.
No, I know. Nia was not there. She was missed though, but it was special. It's just not appropriate for your yet.
No, she's a baby, too young. But man, those are the moments that you want as a father.
Yep, and we will literally remember it for the rest of our life. And I'm telling you, Gabe Landeskog is a hero in our household forevermore. So
take that, Mike Evans.
All right. Sean Payton spoke from the league meetings today. We heard from Sean for the first time since that end of the season presser. We'll go over what we learned coming up next.
With the idea that the Broncos fell short of their ultimate prize at running back in free agency, would it be in their best interest to still go out and find an insurance policy?
You tried for Breece Hall. He got franchise tag. It got to be too pricey for you. Your self-imposed budget prevented you from doing that. You're bringing back Dobbins. That makes sense as a third corresponding move. You brought back Dobbins after you struck out on Breece Hall and A-Chain. Good. You're bringing back Dobbins. I think that's a good move. Once those two other things didn't work out, you still need an insurance policy. And they will go get one. I know they will.
I'm about to file a claim.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. For over a decade, Bluebird Windows and Doors has been servicing the Front Range with products built to withstand Colorado's unpredictable weather. Bluebird's Sunrise Collection windows are built to last a lifetime and are backed by strong warranties. Buy one window and get one 50% off through March 31st. And mention you heard about Bluebird from me, Mike Evans. You'll save an additional 5%. Enjoy the outdoors through energy-efficient Bluebird windows. Visit gobluebirdco.com. Bluebird Windows and Doors. Make today a Bluebird day.
At Belco Credit Union, we want to make your dream renovation a reality. Maybe that means a modern kitchen upgrade or a luxurious new bathroom. With Belco's Home Equity Choice line, you can get easy access to funds with the freedom and convenience of a home equity line of credit, plus the security and stability of a home equity loan. Plus, Belco is also offering low rates for qualified borrowers. Learn more at belco.org/choiceline. Belco is an equal opportunity housing lender. Belco, banking for everyone.
Hey, what's up? It's Zach here. And if you're looking for your new go-to spot in Centennial, the Basketball Social House is it. Award-winning food and drinks, an incredible weekend brunch, and a brand new sports bar entertainment space where you can catch every Colorado game. Even if you're not playing, it's a great hang. But if you are, their private basketball suites are unreal. Full court, lounge, music, TVs, the whole setup. And because you're hearing this from me, get half off your first private basketball suite rental. Just use code HALFOFFHOOPS. Trust me, you're going to love this place.
If your heating and cooling system isn't keeping up, now's the time to upgrade. Enjoy better performance, improved indoor air quality, and energy savings with a new Bryant heating and cooling system. For a limited time, take advantage of rebates, incentives, and 0% financing on select Bryant systems. For quick fixes or entirely new heating and cooling systems, Bryant will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort. Visit BryantColorado.com to find a local Bryant dealer today. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Is your financial advisor managing your risk or just a spreadsheet? Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. Many financial advisors rely on target date funds, which are one-size-fits-all portfolios that don't know your name, your family, or your goals. And that passive management can leave you dangerously exposed. At Trajan, we look at the whole picture, not just the stocks everyone else buys, but the private market opportunities most advisors ignore. And as fiduciaries, we build a strategy around you, coordinating your investments, tax strategy, and estate into one cohesive plan. Your financial life deserves more than just a generic portfolio. Real planning isn't a stack of statements. It's the confidence of knowing where your income will come from for the next 30 years. Good enough isn't good enough for your family. It's time for a change. Schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Call Trajan today at 720-204-8100. That's 720-204-8100.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Private equity investments require accreditation. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
303 Law 4040. Want to share one of the best compliments we've ever received. Had a listener call in to 303 Law 4040. His name was Peter. His wife was viciously attacked in a dog bite incident. So we set up a time to have him come in, and I met with him at length while his wife was recovering at the hospital. A couple days later, my wife recognized the number. She had spoken to Peter before. So when the phone call came in, she said, "Peter!" It was actually Peter's wife. She said, "How did you know?" She said, "Well, we love our clients."
She was just surprised that we recognized the number. We had her come in, we met with her, and she says, I feel like we're your only clients. It's really awesome. We're not your only clients, are we? No, they're not our only clients, but what a compliment that our clients feel valued and that we treat them with such a high level of service. If you ever need us, that's the type of service you will get too. It's Jacob's Law, 303-LAW-4040. That's 303-LAW-4040. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it.
Imagine all that could happen in 5 years. Jobs change, kids grow, new memes will come out. But what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and a price that didn't change for 5 years? Thanks to Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need them the most. That finds and fixes any issue before you even notice them. It's like super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from online threats. You get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices and no battling for bandwidth. For the next 5 years, your devices will be working in perfect harmony, and you get our best equipment with no annual contracts, no fees, no strings. So even though your kids will grow up, your internet is going to stay sharp, reliable, and most importantly, the price will stay put. Plus, get online in minutes with the same-day Wi-Fi. All with Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price, unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply, select plans only.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan's brought to you by Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Leading off with a big story of the day, here's The Drive with Zach By and Denver, Colorado's own Phillip Lindsay.
1 hour in the books. Quicker than a New York minute. I forgot to say real quick, that story I was just telling about our experience last night at the Avs game.
Yeah.
A lot of that it was captured, and we posted on social media. And so it's on my Instagram account. If you want to see, like, my wife had, she got the pound with Gabe. That's on there. Gabe skating by and smiling. That was actually, I took that when I was sitting down there with him. What else is there? My son and my wife behind Kadri on camera.
Yeah, that's a funny one.
The altitude broadcast, and my son realizing he's on the Jumbotron, not even thinking like you're actually on TV, bud. So there's some good stuff, man. There's some good stuff, and
so go follow you, right? What is it? Z.
You could just
By's
type
line.
Yeah, you type in By's line, type in Zach By.
All right.
It should come right up. But yeah, some special stuff. It's on my story there. Okay. Sean Payton. I miss Sean Payton.
You said that earlier that you were just like, man, I just missed his face, missed his voice. So here we are. Sean talking, presenting himself, laughing, smiling. He wasn't as aggressive towards the media. That's how you know it's the off season. He's feeling himself because of the Jalen Waddle, what they have done during free agency, which is just run it back with his guys. But he was in the talkative mood.
Yeah, he was. And Sean loves to talk, and I love to listen to Sean talk, quite honestly. So here's Sean. There's a handful of stuff that I think we I just find interesting, and a couple things that I think we learned. Here was Sean Payton earlier today, live from, it's not live now, but from Phoenix, Arizona this morning, speaking to some local media members. Obviously, Jalen Waddle was, of course, going to be a topic of conversation. Here's the head coach on his new star receiver.
Obviously, we're excited. I would say this process took a while, and credit Miami and George, the patience of coming to a real fair deal, but with regards to the player, he's explosive. I think if you ask me, the single biggest thing that I think he does well is he's extremely fast and he stops fast. He can sink his hips in transition. And then the other thing that came up time and time again was how competitive he is. I'm very close with Teddy Bridgewater. We're close with a lot of people who've had a chance to work with him. And I think whenever you get into a big name free agent or a trade of this magnitude, all the other stuff is important to research. And so when it comes to Waddle's all the other stuff, it was 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. And so I think obviously it'll help us.
So that's about as excited as you're going to hear Sean Payton, talk about an individual player. What did you take away from that?
He really went into detail about Jalen Waddle, the person. Not necessarily the player that he's going to be explosive. We know that, but he did a lot of talking, Sean Payton, that is, of the off the field and talking with other players about this man and how he is in the locker room, and are we going to have to worry about him? And that has me thinking, okay, if you were going after, and I don't know if he was or not, if you're going after someone like A.J. Brown, I mean, you're doing a lot of homework on him, and maybe you turn your head because you're like, I don't like what comes with A.J. Brown with someone like Jalen Waddle. And I know the guy, and I know that he's a good locker room fit. He's not going to say much. He's going to be a guy that's going to bring energy. He's always laughing. He's messing around with everybody, not just the offense, but defense as well. But he's a competitor. And so it's very interesting still that there is so much homework on Jalen Waddle, even though Jalen Waddle has been in the league for a very long time.
Right.
He doesn't have a bad track record. And so it just shows you how invested they are in making any type of moves. And they did their homework on this move before deciding to give up that first-round draft pick.
Yeah, and according to Sports Illustrated, as many as 15, quote, 15 in-depth calls, end quote, about Jalen Waddle. And so you hear Sean's going, yeah, he's got all the football stuff. And then the other stuff, 10, 10, 10. And, man, there's a, last summer, I remember being at training camp with you, and one of my biggest takeaways was just how serious the football team was.
Yeah, you loved it.
I was like, there's such a seriousness to this group.
So serious, no music. Yes, sir, no, sir. Butts all tight. You're like, I love this. I said, okay.
No.
They were serious.
They were. There was just like a maturity about the group. They were on a mission.
They were.
And you could say the same thing in more of the macro about the organization as a whole. There's a seriousness about the direction of this organization. So hold on, before we make a move, and to your point, yeah, everyone knows Jalen Waddle. Does Jalen Waddle have a good reputation? Yes, everyone, in the league, in that world knows it, but it's not good enough for us. We need to do a deeper dive. We're talking about departing with our first-round pick and our third-round pick. Yeah. We need to go deeper than deep. And so I love it. And then again, because I think he referenced this one other time, but the ability to stop, the ability to drop your weight.
Stop on a dime and be able to make that cut. Like, it's very hard to do for anybody, a running back, a receiver. But when you have that ability, you put a cornerback on skates. It's hard for a cornerback to stay with you. And now the time, the rhythm, the processing that Sean loves, it's all about timing. But he gets in and out of his breaks. Jalen Waddle, that is, so fast that now Bo doesn't have to wait long. It's like he's there, right? 10 yards, he's coming into the middle, and he's ready to go, right? That's what you're looking for, and that's what you're going to get out of Jalen Waddle. An explosive receiver that's going to open up the game for everybody. Davis Webb as a play caller, tight end, receivers, running back, Bo Nix. I mean, it's going to be fun to watch if everything goes right for them and they can stay healthy. Jalen Waddle, that is, specifically him being healthy.
Yeah, and I just think that when we talk about pro athletes and we talk about that explosion, it's always from how quick can you get from 0 to 60? Well, Jalen Waddle, one of his best quality is going from 60 to 0. And that's very Tyreek Hill-esque. Tyreek was like that. The ability to just stop, like as this sort of like water bug or water, like just
man. Tyreek Hill,
and then just stop.
Up, like big old muscle. That's what he looked like. He looked like a thumb with muscle. And you're right. Stop, go, can cut, can change directions on a dime, and I told you the story. I'm a gunner. He's a punt returner, and Tyreek Hill gets the ball. I say I'm getting ready to him up. This is my time to shine. I shut my eyes for a split second to blink. I look up, and my man almost scored a touchdown. That's when I knew his speed was real. And so Jalen Waddle's the exact same way. He has some type of speed that you can't coach, you can't talk about. You just have to watch.
Yep.
It's amazing to watch.
Yep, and yeah, you certainly can't coach it. Yeah, downshifting. You know who's awesome like that in basketball is Jalen Brunson. The shifting through the gears with him with the basketball, he's just so shifty. And you know who's like that on skates? And I'm watching him last night. You're talking about drop his weight. Cale Makar. Cale Makar's ability to drop his weight, get low, and move from skating forward to backwards is like a miracle. It's like it's so different, just different. Okay, here's more from Sean Payton this morning from the league meetings in Phoenix, Arizona, talking about J.K. Dobbins.
George and I, we're all sitting in there going through the puzzle. And, I think there were certain priorities. Dobbins was a priority ahead of all others. Now, that'll anger people. We know he's been injured. We understand. And the injuries haven't been soft tissue driven. But he's someone that's one of those, those compound multipliers. Like, he brings 10 others along with him in a positive light. Like, our success last year, he's got some fingerprints on that. Dre has some, all these players that came in that have been in winning programs, are a big part of how you win 14 games in call it year 3 of the program.
All right. He emphatically wanted to get his point across.
Yeah.
Like, just the way he said it. Like, he was a priority above all others. Really trying to drive that message home.
Why do you think that is?
Because he knows that there's other reports out there. He knows that, like, people like us who have actively working brains and just don't follow the Broncos' talking points know that they were going to go after Breece Hall.
So tell me this. The head man just said it. He told all of us he was a priority. Do you believe it?
No. No. And I know you don't.
Oh, I'll tell you right now, I don't believe it.
No.
Not one thing that came out of that man's mouth about J.K. Dobbins do I believe. Like, do I believe he's a good running back? Hell yeah, he's a good running back. Do I believe he was the top priority? No. I don't think he was number 1, number 2. Now, yes, he may have been 3.
But 3,
But he wasn't 1 or 2.
No.
Number 1, Breece Hall.
Correct.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Number 2, I'm telling you guys right now who it was. It was Travis A-Chain. Are we going with that? Travis A-Chain.
Let's just go with A-Chain.
Okay, all right. People out there may know him as ETN still.
And people were confused yesterday when this came up. It's like, goodness gracious, please stop calling him that. He said this is how his name's actually said.
This is how he wants people to pronounce his name if people can pronounce it.
Now, why did we go for years just saying the other thing? I don't know. I mean, apparently he said in college broadcasters were struggling with it, and then when they just went with ETN, he was just like, fine. But this is like a recent trend of people like, hey, I know you think my name's been this for 10 years. It's actually not Tyrod. It's Tyrod.
Yeah, I don't know when Tyrod started saying that. That was my teammate. He was okay with me I just call him T. But Tyrod was another name that people called him. He didn't say anything.
Who was the Bronco that changed how to say their name? Bidet.
It was Batty.
We called him Tyler Batty. And then that was like a year of that.
He was like, stop calling me a baddie. I'm not a baddie. Call me Bidet.
But wasn't it because he no longer got along with his family?
Yeah,
so he didn't
like
even want to be associated with his family name, so he changed the pronunciation. I mean, that's pretty creative. That's great. So, but yes, ultimately, and I know we touched on this yesterday with George Payton trying to get that point across.
Yeah, they're stroking JK's
ego.
That's all that is. Because JK was my guessing. See, and I'm spitballing here. I wouldn't say this if I didn't believe it though. He was going to go somewhere else, such as someone like Jacksonville, which we already heard that Jacksonville was in the running. Maybe they were going to get a deal done. Maybe they had a deal done already. And in order to get him back in the building, because Breece Hall fell through, Travis A-Chain falls through, now you're panicking. You're panicking at this point because some other running backs have already fallen off the board at that time. And now you're like, okay, we have to get our guy back. He wasn't a priority if that's the case.
No.
But now you have no choice because he's the one that you can rely on and count on because he knows the system. You know what he can do when he's healthy. And so now you're asking him to come back. And not only are you going to have to try to get him back, but now you have to sweeten that pot. We've talked about it yesterday. We're not just talking about it just to talk about it, Z.
Well, I don't know if rely on and count upon would be phrases that I would use with Dobbins the way that you just did.
Well, they gave my man $20 million.
They did.
Cha-ching.
And look, I need to say this too. If you think the plan right out of the gate was bring back JK on a 2-year, $20 million deal, you're nuts. You're nuts. But this is the situation that the Broncos are in.
Yes.
And I understand because put the shoe on the other foot. If Sean Payton went out there this morning and he's asked about JK Dobbins, he's like, well, first we tried Breece Hall. And after that, we thought we were going to get A-Chain like that. Yeah, we definitely thought we were going to. But no, we couldn't get either of those guys, so we brought back Jake. He's not going to say that. No. So I understand why he's doing what he's doing. I understand why George did it yesterday. It's all good.
For sure. I just don't believe it.
No. Okay. This was Sean Payton when asked about the angst that Broncos country had through that first week of free agency.
I know. We tune out the angst. And there was a lot of angst when we selected Bo, where we selected him. There was a lot of angst when we made quite a few of these decisions. And look.
Yeah, could you talk about...
Well, I'm going to finish.
Yeah.
You have to tune that out.
Yeah.
Now, I said this in a jokingly manner. We're aware of that. Like, we understand that. And yet, you cannot chase what others outside the building feel like you should be doing. We spent a lot of time on this free agency class. We had a pecking order of what we thought was most important, and we were able to accomplish that. Now, I'm sure as hell glad that we had the Waddle trade done before I was coaching that damn flag football game. and our fan base wasn't going crazy as I'm working on a flag game plan.
All right, so Sean, trying to mix in some humor down the backstretch of that. I like that.
What part?
Just because I know he's being genuine. He's talked about this for a couple years. And actions over words. So when you have someone running a football operation that is unbothered with outside noise, opinions, us, right? Like, to listen, but to be unbothered. Not everyone operates like that. Not every organization operates like that. And so they didn't care that the fan base was restless. They didn't care. And guess what? They shouldn't care. Fans are fans. And if you obey fans long enough, soon you'll be sitting with them. There's a reason why Sean Payton has reached the successes that he has. There's a reason that this organization has been flipped like a rundown house, that you're now tripling the... there's a reason this has all happened. And it's not because you listen to anxious fans. So I know he's being sincere there, and that's who's running the Broncos. And that just there's a comfort in that.
I love it. I'm with you on this. Sean Payton has won a Super Bowl. Sean Payton has taken a team that was very bad with the Saints. They were called the Aints, and turned them into a Super Bowl team. He had a Hall of Fame quarterback on that team that he helped get to the Hall of Fame. So why would he sit here and listen to us fans whine and cry about the free agency when they have a plan? This is their job. They're getting paid millions of dollars, and Sean's getting paid millions of dollars too, to make sure that he puts a great game plan together so that they're successful, the Broncos, that is, successful for that next year. And so if you start to listen to everybody and how they panic, then you don't have an identity. Everywhere you go, you have to have an identity. Z, we have an identity as well, right?
Sure.
And you have to trust, and you say it all the time, hey, let's trust our gut. Trust our gut. Let's just keep going. Keep moving forward. Things are going to play out how they do, weather the storm, but you have to have a plan. You have to stay consistent, but you have to believe in what you're doing. If you don't believe in it, it's never going to come true. I tell those kids when I'm working them out for the combine prep, it's like, look, if you don't invest and believe in what we're doing, you're not going to get good results out of this. But if you believe in it and you come and you hit it every day, the same mentality, you're going to get better, and you're going to feel good about yourself going into the pro day or the combine. That's exactly what the Denver Broncos are doing in the facility. You have to believe in what you're doing, the process, trust that process, and that's exactly what they've done. They got the Jalen Waddle deal done because of that.
On the RamosLaw.com text line, Phil, someone says, come on, Zach, Sean is a narcissistic person, and you want to sit here and tell me that he doesn't care about outside noise? Yeah, right. Well, I think there's something to that, texter, and I'd love to give you a shout-out, 8456. I'd love to give you a shout-out. Put your name on it. I think there's something to it. I know Sean listens.
All the time.
I know Sean listens. I think that Sean does care what is being said about him, but not to the point where you let other people's opinions be the true north compass for your decision-making. That's a big difference, And so even doing this job, and just referencing the text line or social media, like, do I see it? Do I hear it? I do. Do I care about it? To an extent.
Yeah, you come in crying sometimes.
Do I? I
try the damn tears. We're good.
Do I let it steer my decision making, or segment creation, or any of that? No. No, they're separate. So I have enough bandwidth. I think like Sean is like, I don't mean to put myself side by side, but like Sean has enough bandwidth to.
My man compared himself to Sean. He said, I'm Sean Payton in the radio world. So I get it.
No. I think Sean has the bandwidth to hear the criticism, to even maybe care about the criticism, but not enough to let it guide him. And so that's what I would say.
But you also have to have good people around you, like George Payton,
Sure.
like Greg Penner.
Sure.
Because, like, that may refocus you and say, hey, like, we got a game plan. We got a plan. Let's stick with it. Trust what we do. And Sean, like I just got done saying earlier, he has coached and played in so many games that it shouldn't faze him. He's listening all the time, and it probably pisses him off. Especially you, Z.
Well, there was the one time. You remember the first time that me and Sean had an exchange in the press conference?
I remember.
And it was like the second sentence in, he turned his head sideways like a curious dog, and he's like, oh,
so that's
that voice.
Ugly mofo right here.
He's
Okay.
like, I know that voice.
I'm watching you.
So he does listen, but not enough to truly care enough to let it impact a decision making, nor should it, or even come close to impacting what the Broncos do or don't do. So one of the things we did learn today, Jonah Ellis may be changing positions. This is Sean Payton on Jonah Ellis on potentially taking snaps at inside linebacker.
It's the decision to give him snaps going forward.
Yeah, well, what goes into that decision?
Well, skill set. It's a position where we're wanting. I drafted his brother, and the same thing happened with Zach Bond. Only we couldn't get Zach Bond on the field. Now Philadelphia managed to, and it was really looking at your assets. And we know he's smart, tough. He's got all the. And so sometimes that inside backer position, one of the best in our league at San Francisco, Fred Warner, you saw him play more, out in space, outside backer, and then that. So sometimes you have to look at the skill set and then project where you think it can go, and your depth on the edge that allows you to do something like that. And so we'll have a chance to visit with him on that.
All right, so this is a large conversation. All right, we'll probably have to circle back to this, I don't know, next week, later, whatever. But just like from a preliminary standpoint, you hear that they're going to have Jonah Ellis potentially change positions. He's 2 years in, right?
Just 2 years.
What do you make of it?
And I'm trying to get into his shoes as a player. It's not a good feeling when you have a coach coming up to you saying, hey, in the NFL, we're not talking about college. We're not talking about high school. You're talking about the NFL. All right, the best of the best. You can't go further than the NFL. And when somebody comes to you and says, we're thinking about changing your position, you start to look at yourself saying, is it me?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, well, coach, now I'm in an uphill battle because now you're putting me in a position I probably never played before, so I'm behind the 8 ball. If I struggle, then what happens? It reminds me of Drew Sanders.
Yep.
Where just he's consistently moving because they can't find a spot for him.
Yep.
They don't have a true vision for him, and then what happens? You get lost in the shuffle. Then you look up and you're out of the league in 3 or 4 years because they changed your position. And maybe for Jonah Ellis, it's like, coach, if you're going to change my position, you might as well go ahead and trade me to a place where I can play the position I'm comfortable playing because he's not bad at his position.
No.
They just have Nick Bonito and Jonathan Cooper and they got Tillman back, and they want to move Jonah Ellis all around the field to see what fits him, but he can get lost in the shuffle because of that. And I don't think Jonah Ellis is going to be fond of having to move around so much, and he's not going to be comfortable, and now he's always going to be walking on eggshells because now you may be a cut candidate as you get a little older, or now you're a trade candidate because they truly don't have a home for you, Z. That's my thought process on this.
Man. Typically, when I hear, hey, this guy's going to change positions after 2 years, 4 out of 5 times it's not good.
No.
It's not good. And I'm sure the pitch is, hey, your room is crowded. This is your pathway to get onto the field. And we've seen it. Baron Browning. You remember Baron Browning? He was your teammate, right?
Yep.
They had him switching positions. Drew Sanders.
Langley.
Brandon Langley. Well, that was dramatic.
That was cornerback to receiver.
Yeah, so I'm switching side of the ball. It's switching side of the ball.
I was like, oh, you're signing up to get cut, man.
Yeah, and he was, unfortunately. It typically isn't good, but he referenced a situation like Fred Warner that, hey, was outside backer, then he transitioned. So there's a pathway for it to happen. And there's a pathway for this to be successful, but historically, typically not good.
And also, Z, before we go, at the end there, he made that statement like, we're going to talk to him. Kind of sounded like he didn't have this conversation with Jonah Ellis before just going out there and telling the whole world that we're going to change your position.
I agree. He said that at the end. He said, and we'll meet with him on that.
That's not a good look.
No, not if you're Jonah Ellis and you find out through the media that you're now an inside linebacker.
It's all over the phone.
Yep.
Right? You're having dinner with your family, and now you're looking at Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, and it's like Jonah Ellis changing positions, and you don't even know that.
He can play, man. He can play the position that he's playing right now. If he had more opportunity in front of him, he's flashed.
Well, if he wants to play that position, Z, then he needs to probably ask for a trade because it doesn't look like it's coming here unless somebody gets hurt. So he's going to have to play out of his position and try to battle with somebody that they're going to draft. They may still draft in that position.
Sure.
And so you're battling with that. And if you're not comfortable playing that position and you're out of place, well, then my guessing is you're not going to be there that much longer. So it's going to be interesting, man. Jonah Ellis.
Yeah, 5 sacks as a rookie. Okay, we'll circle back to that story at a certain point in time. Okay, in the meantime, there was a moment in last night's Avs game that the camera didn't catch that sheds light on what it's like to play with Nathan McKinnon, and I'll share a little story from last night next.
Baseball is back, and Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is leading off the season in style. Join us Friday, April 3rd for our home opener party at Thirsty Lion Restaurant at Union Station. Dover and Cecil will get the party started live from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Then the Tribe will come out of the bullpen to close things out from 2 to 6.
How about that?
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Sex, intimacy, love. These 3 things are critical to a good relationship, and that's the problem with erectile dysfunction. It often destroys sexual enjoyment and intimacy. It stresses the love between partners, often to the breaking point. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're suffering with ED, you likely know exactly what I'm talking about. But I also want you to know that ED doesn't have to impact your relationship anymore. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're ED experts with our focus on men's sexual health. We've treated tens of thousands of men and have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. I promise you, if you're like most guys, you can get your sex life back, perhaps even performing like you haven't in years. So if ED is affecting you, it's time to get back to better sex, better intimacy, and deeper love. Call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
I lost 60 pounds a few years ago with SodaWeightLoss.com, and it's never coming back. I am never gaining that weight back because I learned how to eat, what to eat, and when to eat with SodaWeightLoss.com. You can join Soda for a short time that have results that last a lifetime. Call them up at 1-866-800-SODA. That's 1-866-800-SODA. Or go online to SodaWeightLoss.com. And I lost those 60 pounds, and I'm never going back because of the personalized touch that SodaWeightLoss.com gives you with a personal nutritionist that's always available via text when you have questions, you have concerns. Sometimes you just need encouragement on your weight loss journey. Have a friend there. Have your personal nutritionist there for you. It's SodaWeightLoss.com. It's changed my life. I look and feel 10 years younger, and I love it. You'll love it too. Go to SodaWeightLoss.com. Again, call them up, 1-866-800-SODA. Join Soda for a short time to have results that last a lifetime at SodaWeightLoss.com. SOTA is, say it with me, state of the art.
When you've been hurt after a traumatic car crash, you don't need a sales pitch from an attorney with big promises and a loud voice. You need a team who fights for real results fast. That's why so many across the country choose the Berg Simpson Law Firm. Berg Simpson is nationally recognized, but is local right here in Colorado. So give us a call and let our team fight for the results you deserve today.
If you've been injured, call Berg Simpson for free now at 303-790-2525. BergSimpson.com. Good lawyers changing lives.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Restore your bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning hair with the same simple one-day treatment I receive from Dr. Tanya Pauls of Advanced Hair. Your own natural hair begins regrowing the very next day, and your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Call 720-459-HAIR, AdvancedHair.com.
The right financial strategies can make a huge difference, especially if you're nearing retirement. Adam Mueller talks retirement strategies with Mile High Money. Saturday mornings at 8 on Denver Sports 104.3, The Fan.
Hey guys, it's Mark Schlereth. I just made one of the best decisions of my life. I got rid of my glasses. I went to Cutarelli Vision and had refractive lens exchange, RLE. I wore glasses for distance vision, but I got to that inevitable point in life where I was always needing those reading glasses just to do about anything, and half the time I couldn't find them. Seeing menus, texting, reading my computer, or studying film, it was a struggle. But now I see the world perfectly, near and far, without any glasses, thanks to Cutarelli Vision RLE, the perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You'll never develop a cataract. Dr. Cutarelli is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. You can trust him to know if it's the right time for you and RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consultation at coloradorle.com. Cutarelli Vision, RLE, no readers, glasses, or contacts, or cataracts. coloradorle.com.
Your reputation matters. That's why so many landscape professionals choose Gravely. You can save up to 20% on Gravely commercial mowers during the Gravely Mow the Distance sales event starting April 9th. Visit your local Gravely dealer today.
Ent is becoming Wings. It's a big change. But we're not changing the way we show up for our communities, or our personal service, or the people who provide it. We're not changing locations. We're not even replacing the coffee machine. But we are changing our name. We'll probably even get some new pens. It'll be a big day for pen people. Ent Credit Union, insured by NCUA.
Want to partake in our contests? Check out the rules at DenverSports.com. Every day at 3:30, the drive comes off the top rope to hit you with a 1, 2, 3.
Finally, The Rock has come back to Denver!
Tape your wrists, stretch your spandex, and oil your hair. Here's Zach and Phil with today's 3 count on the drive.
Let's come up the top rope with it! All righty. So there was a moment in last night's Colorado Avalanche game that the camera didn't catch. All right, but it could be a look into what it's like to play with Nathan MacKinnon. And we were talking about in the at the very start of our show, we stumbled because we were talking about Greg Penner, and my hope after this season was that he starts to get addicted to the success.
Get obsessed on what he's doing, what he's building over there with the Denver Broncos.
Yes, and so Nathan MacKinnon is a bit of a psychopath, okay? And there was a moment, so I'm sitting at the game, and I'm with my son, and if you missed it earlier in the show, we got hooked up by an incredibly, insanely generous listener that for 3 years in a row has picked one game to give to me and my kid, and they're on the glass. But they're right next to the Avalanche bench. And when I say right next to, I mean I am sitting as close to Nathan MacKinnon as I am to Phillip Lindsay in this studio.
You said plexiglass is the only thing, huh?
Just a thin layer, and then there's Mackenzie Blackwood. He sits all the way furthest to the left, as Wedgie would do if Blackwood was playing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first guy next to Blackwood was Marty Netjes. And they're on their shift together. Netjes beats MacKinnon to the bench, and McKinnon's maybe I don't know, 10 seconds behind him just because of how the sequence on the ice was. He was just a little bit delayed getting off of the ice. So this is at the back stretch of the second period, okay? So there's like maybe 5 minutes left in the second period. The score is 5-1. I mean, the Avs are putting it on the Flames. McKinnon comes to the sideline. So all these players are sitting and they have their sticks in their hands. Netch's stick is just hanging a little over the boards. Nathan McKinnon skates over, and the puck's on the other side of the ice. So I don't know who in the arena caught it, but that's not where your eyes were naturally going. Nathan McKinnon, when the score is 5-1, comes off the ice, takes his stick, and when I say he slammed it at like 90% of his strength, he slammed Marty Netch's stick on purpose. He was furious with Netch's. I don't know what happened out there on the ice, but when I tell you in a 5-1 game, slamming your own teammate's stick, Marty sort of flinched backwards. He sits right next to Marty and is staring at him with an intensity of 1,000 suns and is just ripping him.
So he's just upset because of something that happened on that ice.
Something happened on the ice, and he is crushing Marty, and Marty is like not looking at him, and he's like glancing over every 2-3 seconds, but it was like a 10 to 15 second sequence where McKinnon was so pissed off at something, he called someone an effing idiot. Now, I don't know if he was talking to Netch's or someone else on the ice, but he was not happy. And like I said, the score was 5-1, but he hadn't scored yet. Nate hadn't scored yet.
Oh, so that's why he was mad. Everybody's scoring but me, Netch's.
Dude, it reminded me, you know who it reminded me of was Kobe Bryant. Someone who is just so maniacal to the point where, I'm going to be honest, like it looked unhealthy. You're up 5-1 and you're berating your own teammate.
Well, that's just,
and slamming his stick with yours with like incredible force that he's flinching backwards.
And you know, maybe when Netch's first got there, he's like, what in the hell did I get myself into?
Exactly.
And then you start to figure out like this is just who Nathan McKinnon is.
Yep.
You know, and then you go with it. But also maybe that's why Nate Dogg decided to be on that left circle last night to score his power play goal.
Yeah,
Put Netch's in the corner.
He was back in his office. Yes, he was.
He said, you're going to the corner. You're going to the corner. I'm scoring the goals now. That's my home. Wow. Well, that's good insight right there. It just shows you how obsessed, how crazy Nathan McKinnon is about being, well, not just winning, but being perfect. And I know you're never going to be perfect.
Yep.
But you're beating the hell out of a team.
Yep.
And you're not letting up on your guys.
No.
Like you're saying, hey, we're still doing this, and if you mess up, you're going to hear from me.
Dude, it was so bizarre. Like from where I'm sitting, I was like, holy smokes, this is happening. Scores 5-1. He was
like, big old, cover your ears.
He was staring through Marty Netch's and slamming his stick. I couldn't get over that. Slamming your own that was nuts. McKinnon, a couple minutes later, does score on that power play in the closing moments of that second period.
Puts Netch's in the corner.
Yeah.
He said, you're going to the corner. I'm pissed off.
Yep.
I get my home back.
Yep. All right. And I actually captured that goal. That goal with me and my boy on the glass. It's on my Instagram if you want to check it out. All right, next in the 3 count.
1, 2.
All right, shifting gears here. The Broncos, it does not look like, will play the San Francisco 49ers in Mexico this year. The 49ers did not want to play Denver, apparently, due to the built-in advantage the Broncos have by practicing and playing at altitude. So Mexico City has an even higher elevation than Denver. So we're 5,280 here. Mexico City's 7,300 feet in the air. I mean, that is a meaningful difference, even if you live at a mile high. I actually think this is a strategic tap out by the San Francisco 49ers.
It's smart. It's smart by the 49ers. Like, hey, we're going to give them an advantage because they get to work out in something like this all the time. We don't want to do that. No, thank you. And we know that the Denver Broncos are tough. We know that what they can do. And the longer the game goes, the stronger the Broncos go, the stronger that Bo Nix gets. So no thank you. I'm out on that one. So I get it. I understand why they would do that.
All right, next in the 3 count.
1, 2, 3.
All right, HBO announces that the Seattle Seahawks, the reigning Super Bowl champions, will be the featured NFL team on Hard Knocks in 2026. And they already announced it for 2027. I don't think they've done this in years past, but they've already announced it's the New England Patriots that will be featured on HBO in 2027.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I thought they would definitely want to go for the Denver Broncos. Now, I do understand and do know that both the Denver Broncos and then HBO and Hard Knocks, they have to agree on something, and maybe the Broncos say, we decline it, we don't want you in our building, although Sean would love that. So it's interesting. I really wanted to see what the Denver Broncos look like in the inside.
Yeah, me too.
New stadium, too, new facility.
Yep.
So, that would have been a great publicity for Greg Penner to have Hard Knocks in the facility filming the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, that was the dream from a content standpoint. It would have been so rich for us here in the job that we do to get that true peek inside. I do believe it's coming. At a certain point in time, I do believe it's coming. And maybe when the stadium is being built, and maybe the organization will be willing to peel back the curtain a little bit as they approach that new frontier. Okay, what are the analytics saying about the Denver Nuggets' chances to win the NBA title? We'll pass the numbers along, coming up next.
The countdown to the playoffs is on. 6 games left, and the spotlight is on Aaron Gordon. Soft tissue injuries, a year-long pattern, and a postseason that demands 2 months of non-stop intensity. Can he hold up when it matters most? That answer could define the entire playoff run.
The one that's got me worried is Aaron Gordon, because this is a pattern with him. The soft tissue injuries, it's what's really set him back the last year plus. And here we are 6 games before understanding that if this team is going to make a deep run in the playoffs, you're talking about a month and a half, 2 months of just really intense playoff basketball. I'm just really worried about this guy being able to hold up.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. Injury Insights, powered by Ramos Law. Taking a look at the latest sports injuries in Colorado and beyond. Here's Dr. Joseph Ramos with Zach By.
Okay, Dr. Ramos, on Sunday night, Denver Nuggets forward Zeke Naji was seen leaving the arena in crutches with what the team is calling a hip impingement. I don't think I've ever heard of that. What is this?
Zach, yeah, I was at the game. That is a huge bummer. Hip impingement is simply in our lower leg. The femur has a ball on the top. It fits into the pelvis in a socket. It's a ball and socket. And if the ball gets misshapen, or if it's too big for the socket or too small for the socket, which actually can develop over time, you can get impingement. And I'm telling you, man, it's painful. It's a sharp stabbing pain every time you move your leg when that ball rotates inside that socket. The concern here is this. I think they have to worry heavily here about an acetabular labrum tear. There's a lining inside that socket. And if it tears, it's trouble. They're probably going to nurse him through the rest of the season here with some physical therapy and rest. And then after season, he's probably going to end up needing an arthroscopic surgery.
Oh, that is not good news. So we should not expect to see Zeke Naji anytime soon, right?
It's going to be rough. It's very rough. You're exactly right. If so, it'll be limited.
Ramos Law. What makes us different makes us better.
Hi, Dan Cicchini with Dunright. Great pricing options and bank financing? You bet. Kitchens, baths, counters and floors, finished basements, windows and doors. Done right since 1985. You have our word, we'll treat you right at Dunright. Visit drhi.com. Thanks.
The cost of living isn't just high, it's exhausting. If you've been leaning on credit cards lately just to cover the basics like groceries, gas, and utility bills, you're essentially paying a survival tax of 20% interest or more. Why keep handing your hard-earned paycheck to the big banks when you could keep it for your family? My friends at American Financing have a better way. They're helping homeowners tap into their equity to pay off high-interest debt with mortgage rates currently in the 5s. On average, American Financing is saving their customers $800 a month. That's nearly $10,000 a year back in your pocket. It's not just a loan, it's a total financial reset. There are no upfront fees and no obligation to talk to a salary-based mortgage consultant. Here's the kicker. Start today and you could even delay 2 mortgage payments. Call American Financing at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000 or online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. APR for rates in the 5s start at 6.196% for well-qualified buyers. Call 303-695-7000 for details about credit costs and terms.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya, guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
At Belco Credit Union, we want to make your dream renovation a reality. Maybe that means a modern kitchen upgrade or a luxurious new bathroom. With Belco's Home Equity Choice line, you can get easy access to funds with the freedom and convenience of a home equity line of credit, plus the security and stability of a home equity loan. Plus, Belco is also offering low rates for qualified borrowers. Learn more at belco.org/choiceline. Belco is an equal opportunity housing lender. Belco, banking for everyone.
Stream Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app. Powered by Advanced Tax Solutions. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
What are the analytics saying about the Denver Nuggets' chances to win the NBA championship?
Uh-oh.
This is a bit of a Broncos throwback segment.
I like it.
That throughout the Broncos season, we were using ESPN's FPI, Football Power Index. And wouldn't you know it, Phil? ESPN has BPI, Basketball Power Index. And
it's only right.
It's only right. And you guys know the drill here. If you're familiar with the segment, you know, it's basically just an analytical model. It's proprietary, so it's ESPN's own. They've put time and money into it. And it essentially just collects every data point known to man concerning the game of basketball. Everything that you can imagine. And then what they'll do is they'll simulate the season thousands and thousands of times based on a season-long sample size. So ESPN's Basketball Power Index has the Nuggets as the 6th best team in the NBA, behind the Oklahoma City Thunder, and this is in order.
Yeah.
The Thunder, the Spurs, the Pistons, the New York Knicks, and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Ooh.
Does that sound fair?
Cavaliers, I believe that the Nuggets are better than the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I understand that with shooting and certain things defensively, but I still think that the Denver Nuggets are better than the Cleveland Cavaliers. Knicks, I'm gonna put the Knicks over the Nuggets. They're consistent. I just think that all around, I look at how the Knicks play, and they play really good defense when it's time.
They do. They are tough.
Yes.
They have a brand of toughness that the Nuggets are lacking. And when the two teams played, the Knicks won by 49?
Yeah.
I mean, it
was bad. And then I know that maybe for you, the Pistons, they're not believable right now because they're young and they're up and coming and they're feisty. They're plucky. Did I say that right? They're plucky.
You did.
But do they have enough battle scars, those scars accumulated to beat someone like the Nuggets? And should they be on top of the Nuggets? I mean, their record speaks for itself. They're a tough team. I don't know if the Pistons should be over the Nuggets because of experience.
I agree with this. I agree. But
it does, agreeing on something for once.
But you like, so while I agree with you, I understand why the Pistons would be ahead of the Denver Nuggets because they're gathering all the data points from this season.
Yes.
There's no data point for accumulation of scars, right? You can't see that, but we know that that's super real. So yes.
What will your list be before we go on?
I would have them as the 4th best team in the NBA, behind the Thunder, the Spurs, and the Knicks.
Okay. All right.
Yep. So, yeah, but we agree. The Nuggets are the only team in ESPN's Basketball Power Index in the top 10 that has a negative defensive BPI score. And that sort of tracks, right, with what we've been watching with our eyes.
Why don't they have the Celtics on here? What in the world?
That's a good question.
Because that was your team, right? That's your team coming out of the East.
I'd still pick them coming out of the East right now. I'd pick them coming out of the East right this second. But that's a good question. All right, so the chances, according to ESPN's BPI, ESPN's analytics, I'm just going to say ESPN's analytics, the chance that the Denver Nuggets make the conference semifinals, that means they're in the playoffs and they win their first round series, is 67% likelihood.
Woo-wee.
Okay, you feel good about that?
I feel good about it. It's interesting because if it takes place how I think it's going to take place, and you said like when it comes to the 3 seed, it's going to be hard for the Nuggets to get to that 3 seed, so they're going to sit there at the 4 seed. They're going to have to play the Timberwolves in the first round.
Correct.
How do you feel about it?
Not great, but I would still take Denver.
And you said that. You said that from the jump.
Yep.
Even psychologically, with the Timberwolves being in the Denver Nuggets' heads and how physical and aggressive they are, you still would take the Nuggets. And I'm with you on it. Experience, having the best player in the world with Jokic, Jamal Murray heating up. It's just a different version of Jamal.
Yes, Jamal at his best changes this dynamic.
That even Minnesota themselves haven't seen yet. So that's going to be an interesting matchup between Ant-Man and Jamal Murray.
Yeah, and historically, Jamal has struggled in this matchup. But I just think the collective, the depth of the Nuggets would probably be, it would be this version of Jamal and the depth of the team being the tiebreaker, along with Jokic, obviously. So chances to make the conference semifinals, so moving past the first round, 67%. This is where it gets dicey. According to ESPN's analytics, the chance that the Denver Nuggets are playing in the Western Conference Finals, that means you're moving past the second round, are just 20%. Chance to win the Western Conference Finals and represent the Western Conference in the NBA Finals, according to ESPN's analytics, is 8%. The chance that the Denver Nuggets are in the NBA championship and they win it and we have a parade here in Denver, Colorado,
drum roll,
3.5%.
Ooh-wee.
Man, that is, again, this isn't the gospel, but it's also based on just information. It's based on just data. It's not big opinions. It's not talking heads.
Yeah,
it's just based on the data of an entire season.
But now we take that data and now we're talking about it. How do you feel about that? 3% chance, a little over 3%, but 3% chance that the Nuggets win it all. Do you think this is accurate?
No, I don't. Because the data that they're pulling from comes from a disjointed season.
Yeah.
From a health standpoint. So I'm not disagreeing with the data, but there's context to how you got to this data.
Now, correct me, though, if I'm wrong, Z. You talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves and us possibly playing them. So if that is the case, we end up with the 4 seed. We beat the Minnesota Timberwolves. Don't we play the Thunder next?
Correct.
So when I look at this, it's like, okay, you're going up against the Timberwolves. That's going to be a tough matchup. I could see it going to a Game 7 just because of how physical it is. Ant-Man and just the dynamic there. Then you got to play the Thunder, who you haven't been able to beat yet. Even when they've had four or five guys that have been out of the mix. That's concerning to me. So although I don't believe that this is accurate and the Nuggets still have a better chance to win the finals, you have to go through the Thunder in this scenario in the second round. And it's hard for me to close my eyes and imagine the Denver Nuggets. I'm just being real. This is me.
Yeah.
The Denver Nuggets beating the Thunder because of how disjointed the season has been, how the injury bug has latched on to the Denver Nuggets, and it seems like it's starting to again. Zeke Naji, although he may not play in the playoffs, he's injured. All right, now you have Mr. Jones.
Yeah, Spencer Jones.
Hamstring. He's injured. You got AG, dealing with the tight calf. We don't know what he's going to look like when he does come back and if the calf has settled down. So this is all happening before the playoffs start. And if you're in a game where it's physical, with like the Warriors game the other night, which was physical, and you had 3 guys go out because of it, you're playing the Timberwolves that are more physical than the Warriors.
It's true.
What does that look like going into the second round? This is all the things that are in my head right now, Z, where it's like I can see why something like this would be 3%. It's going to be tough to try to get past that second round when you know you have to play the Thunder in the second round.
Well, here's what I'll say to that, though. I have a little bit of pushback, and I'll give it to you coming up next.
All season, we've assumed that Jared Bednar might be gone if the Avalanche didn't win the Stanley Cup. But now there are reports that he will get a contract extension as long as Colorado gets out of the first round.
Please don't tell me expectations are lower. A report is a report is a report. But I just don't like the idea of like, well, short of a first-round exit, he's good. Are we sure?
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Most financial advisors only manage your money. They refer you out for taxes. They refer you out for estate planning. They refer you out when things get complicated. Did they really vet that person? Or did they meet once, exchange business cards, and call it a partnership? A referral isn't accountability. It's a handoff. When your investments, taxes, and estate plan are built separately, gaps happen, and those can cost money. At Trajan, we didn't build a referral network. We built a family office for all. Wealth, tax, estate. One team delivering coordinated planning, once reserved for the ultra-wealthy. If you want real coordination and not just introductions, call Trajan Wealth today.
Call Trajan today at 720-204-8100. That's 720-204-8100.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
I need a little ranch. Step to the ranch. Come on, meet me at the
Introducing the new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club sandwich. With that juicy Chick-fil-A chicken on a buttermilk ranch bun, jalapeno ranch sauce, and pickled jalapenos, it's a little ranch with a lot of kick. The new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club with original spicy or grilled filet. Available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to carshield.com. That's carshield.com today.
SodaWeightLoss.com is state-of-the-art, and SodaWeightLoss.com helped me lose 60 pounds a few years ago, and I've never gained the weight back. Why? I know how to eat, what to eat, and when to eat. I had a real nutritionist there to help me along the way through my journey. I joined Soda for a short time to have results that last a lifetime. Call them up, 1-866-800-SODA. You want to lose that weight? 1-866-800-SODA. Online at SodaWeightLoss.com. They are there for you like they were there for me. It's SodaWeightLoss.com. Soda Weight Loss is state-of-the-art.
Jacob's Law and 303 Law 4040. I want to tell you about one of the cases I'm most proud of. And it's not because the number is eye-popping, although it is. It's because the clients trusted us to get them justice, and we delivered for them. Our clients were a wonderful couple, weren't looking to get rich. In fact, they kept saying, Dan, we're not looking to set any records here. But they were seriously injured, and despite promising to take care of them, when it came time to do the right thing, the insurance companies played hardball. We set it for trial and wound up getting $8.5 million. Plus, my lovely wife, Kimberly, was able to get all of their medical bills wiped out, putting hundreds of thousands of extra dollars in the clients' pockets. We were proud to help because our clients were good-hearted people who deserved justice. We hope you never need us, but if you do, we are here to help at 303 Law 4040, where you always get to meet directly with me and my lovely wife, Kimberly. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. That's 303 Law 4040.
Calling all undergraduate students. What would you build for America's future? Your big idea could earn you $25,000 in grant funding. Submit today at America250.org. No purchase necessary. See official rules at America250.org.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
suits up because he has calf tightness. Zeke Naji leaves the game on crutches. So it's a good reprieve from going 3 or 4 nights a week. They last played on Sunday night. They had yesterday off, today off. They'll play tomorrow, and then I don't believe they play again until Saturday. Let me just triple check that real quick. Yes, they don't play again until Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock, when the alien, Victor Wembanyama, and the San Antonio Spurs come to Denver, which is going to be a real test. Like, they've won 6 games in a row. That's fantastic. But a big boy test is coming on Saturday.
And that might be the last time you get to see Wemby, because if they lock it up, and I don't know how close they are to locking up that number 2 spot if they haven't already.
No, they're 2.5 games behind the Thunder, so the chance that they catch the Thunder is the same as the Nuggets catching the Lakers. It's not likely.
And so like the reason I say that is the last 2 games of the season are the Thunder and the Spurs. And my guessing is you're not going to see Wemby that last game or the game before you play the Thunder, which will be the last game. So this is going to be a really good game, a good test for Jokic, and see what he can do against Wemby. That supercomputer, Jokic's brain. All right, he's taking everything in. Hopefully we see something on display when they play here soon.
So I wanted to give just baby pushback of when we talk about sort of letting the Denver Nuggets off the hook. We're just going over the ESPN analytics and the odds that ESPN's analytics give the Denver Nuggets to go and win the championship. They have a 67% chance of winning their first round series, a 20% chance of winning their second round series, an 8% chance of winning the conference finals and going to the NBA championship, and just a 3.5% likelihood of winning the title and having a parade. So just the baby pushback that I would give is that, and I'm not dying on this hill, but it deserves to be mentioned. So yes, Denver's gone through it, right? Bunch of guys have missed time. You know who else that's happened to? The Oklahoma City Thunder. Their second best player. So they're Jamal Murray. Think about the conversations if Jamal Murray missed more than half the season.
We'd be concerned.
That's what has happened with Jalen Williams, J-Dub, their second best player, all NBA, someone capable of dropping 40 points in the NBA Finals. We just saw that from J-Dub. This is a top 15 player in the sport when he's right currently. Top 15, top 20. Dude, he's missed over 50 games. Or excuse me, 45. He's missed 45 games. Someone like who am I thinking of? Caruso.
Yeah.
Alex Caruso is one of the best defenders in the NBA, first team All-NBA defense. He's missed double-digit games, right? So it's not just, and we've talked about this, it's not just Denver going through this. And Oklahoma City has been able to absorb these losses and still thrive in one-seeded fashion in a way that Denver just never put it together. Yeah. But you can't tell me that, Aaron Gordon is more important to the Nuggets than Jalen Williams is to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
No, but when I'm thinking of it, Z, I'm thinking of it like this. All right, in the lens of what we have saw so far when it comes down to Denver playing the Thunder. The Thunder have had a lot of guys missing and yet still haven't been able to beat, or the Nuggets, the Thunder haven't been able to beat the Nuggets haven't been able to beat the Thunder because of that.
There you go. Yep.
That's what's concerning to me. On top of that, the Thunder play better defense than the Nuggets do, where the Nuggets rely just on offense. It's just like Oregon back in the day where they were just putting up 60, 70 points. And I was like, damn, I want to be a part of the Oregon Ducks. But then you turn around, Oregon's defense wasn't as strong because they relied on their offense to score so many points. So that's what you're going to do in the playoffs if you're the Denver Nuggets, is you're thinking we're going to outscore teams. Do you believe that the Nuggets can outscore the Thunder, knowing that the Thunder are going to play good defense?
No, they're going to have to unlock a level of defense that we just simply haven't seen outside of, one game here, one game there. The game against the Boston Celtics a month ago where they held them to, 88 points or whatever it was. But those have been few and far between. Isaiah Hartenstein. That was another one I was thinking of.
Yes.
In addition to Caruso, so first team All-NBA guy, missed, a bunch of games. Jalen Williams has missed, 45 games, All-NBA player. And then Isaiah Hartenstein has missed, dozens and dozens of games. He's played 43 games this season. We're almost done with the year. So he's missed half the season. So it's not a Nuggets-specific problem. So we can't just chalk up a whole season to health. We can't.
No.
We can't. So we'll see what it looks like. I'm fully anticipating them to win their 7th in a row. Let's take a look at the Lakers' schedule just down the backstretch here, and the likelihood that the Denver Nuggets can catch them for the 3 seed, because as I've emphasized here over the months, is that you have to go back to Bill Clinton's first term in the White House.
Damn.
To the last time that a team won the NBA championship that was outside of the top 3 seeds. Okay? And then you fuse that together with the 40-20 rule, Phil Jackson's historical benchmark, that you have to win. If you're a true contender, you have to win your 40th game that season before losing your 20th. Nuggets weren't even close to that. There's only been 4 teams since the advent of the three-point line that have hurdled over that historical roadblock. So those two things together cast serious historical doubt. So you have to ask yourself, is this Denver Nuggets team so exceptional that they are the exception to these historical rules? It's possible. In terms of achieving a top 3 seed, this is who the Lakers have left. The Lakers have to lose 3 games, okay? They have 7 games left in the season. Tonight, they are hosting the Cleveland Cavaliers.
All right.
Thursday night, they are on the road at Oklahoma City. Sunday, they're at Dallas. Tuesday, they're hosting Oklahoma City. So they have OKC 2 more times.
That's tough. That's a tough one right there.
They have to go to Golden State. They host Phoenix, and they host Utah to finish the season. My guess is that this is going to be so close.
You think they drop 3? We're talking about the Lakers right now. Do they drop 3?
I think they drop 2.
You think is it the Thunder twice?
I think it's maybe the one of the Thunder games and one other game. Like
I think it would
maybe
be
Cleveland tonight.
Maybe I think they beat Cleveland tonight. The one I'm thinking of, because the Suns are still in it, correct?
The Suns are still in it.
So I would say the Suns have to play it all out. It's not like, hey, like they get to cruise. I think that they beat the Thunder once. They get beat by the Thunder once, and then the Suns beat them. If that's the 2 games that they drop.
But they need to lose a third
3,
one.
Yeah.
They
Maybe they do drop the Cavs tonight.
And just to be clear, they need to lose 3, and the Denver Nuggets need to win out their last 6 games. And they're already riding. Oh, okay. Hold on. See, now I'm getting my bag a little bit.
Go ahead. Drop the bar.
Hold on a second. So the Lakers need to lose 3 games. The Denver Nuggets need to win their final 6 games in a row. But they've already won their previous 6 games. That would mean the Denver Nuggets would finish the season in this scenario on a 12-game win streak.
Hottest streak going.
It would be the hottest streak in the Jokic era. Believe it or not, the Denver Nuggets have never won 10 straight games with Nikola Jokic. They've got to 9 many times, and they almost always lose the 10th. Now you're asking them to do something that they haven't done in a decade, and then surpass it. Not only win their 10th in a row, win their 11th in a row, and win their 12th in a row. We should get ready for the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first round. I would say that. I would say just prepare for Minnesota in the first round.
You also called your shot earlier. Now they're still they can drop 1 game when it comes to you calling your shot, right? You have.
I said 12-2 when they had 14 games left.
12-2, but they can do it because of how soft the schedule is moving forward. Yes, Wemby, that's going to be a tough one with San Antonio, but if they can find a way to win that one, which they should be able to win, if you're truly a contending team, you have a chance to win that one, which they will.
It's teams like that you have to beat on your way to a title, and you're at home.
But then also we've had this conversation. By that time, when it comes to playing the Spurs again and playing the Thunder, they're not going to play their guys. I'm guessing that they wouldn't play their guys. So if you can get past the San Antonio Spurs, you should be able to win the other 5 games.
You should be able to. You'll be favored to win nearly all of them, especially if it shakes out where OKC and San Antonio's resting their guys in game number 81 and game 82 to finish the season. So
here we go.
But the roadblocks are kind of stacking up. Like if you say, hey, No one's ever won, not no one. It's been over 30 years since the last time a non-top 3 seed won the championship. So you have that. Only 4 teams since the advent of the three-point line have won the NBA championship and not abided by the 40-20 rule. Now you're in addition to those 2 things, if you want that 3 seed, you got to do something that they have never done with Jokic. You have to win 12 games in a row, and they've never won 10. So it's like there is some stuff in front of them, whether it's historically or recent history in terms of the win streak. But we'll see if they can do it. I'll be watching. I'll have my popcorn. And I'm going to try my best to be there on Saturday for that Spurs game as well.
It's going to be a good one right there.
So, all right, shifting gears here. The Avs put out a reminder to the rest of the NHL last night, and we'll talk about it next.
Baseball is back, and Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is leading off the season in style. Join us Friday, April 3rd for our home opener party at Thirsty Lion Restaurant at Union Station. Dover and Cecil will get the party started live from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Then the Tribe will come out of the bullpen to close things out from 2 to 6.
How about that?
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
There's nothing more meaningful you could do for yourself, your family, and friends than finally getting rid of that pain so they can enjoy time with you again, especially heading into vacation season. If you say yes to any of these questions, you are the kind of patient QC Kinetics regenerative treatments help every single day. Do you have consistent joint pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or back? The pain keeps you from getting a good night's sleep. I'm missing work or saying no to activities that I enjoy. I don't want surgery and a long recovery. I'm at the end of my rope, taking medications every day to just get through. Moment of truth. Did you answer yes to more than one of those questions? Well, today could be your day to turn that corner and finally get relief. QC Kinetics treatments are easy. They're done right there in the office so you can go about your day. The consultation's free, so don't wait. Call today. 303-900-8986. That's 303-900-8986. With locations in Aurora, Superior, Highlands Ranch, and the Springs, it's QC Kinetics.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Spring weather is unpredictable. You never know which way you'll be adjusting your thermostat unless you have the right windows. And that's why with WindowNation.com, you can count on your home being comfortable regardless of the weather. Their windows are customizable and energy efficient. Expert installers take just 1 day, and Window Nation products are backed by a lifetime warranty. There's no better time to upgrade with Window Nation. In March, the more you buy, the more you could save. Up to 50% off all window styles. Visit windownation.com for your free consultation today.
When it's cold, the last thing you want is your home's heater to quit on you. At 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, our team of comfort specialists take the frustration out of the equation. From simple repairs to more complex fixes, we'll get you warm and comfortable quickly. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com. Don't forget, we're
Always on time, or you don't pay it time. Always on time, or you don't pay it time.
independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
This message is a warning. It has to do with bad guys trying to steal your money. This is Glenn Jameron, chairman of Alpine Bank, member FDIC. Recently, fraud con artists are sending out texts and emails to unsuspecting bank customers. They say something's wrong with your account. They ask you to click on a link and provide your login and password. Or they call you on the phone. They pretend to be your banker. And once again, ask for your account login and password. Hear me loud and clear. Don't do it. Banks will not contact you asking for your password or other personal information. If you have questions, call Alpine Bank. We'll help. Protecting you is our commitment. Alpine Bank, committed to Colorado and you.
Hey guys, boy Steve here today about my long-term buddy Troy Hansford. And if you're thinking about selling your house for any reason, now might be the time to sell, still get top dollar. Believe it or not, my guy Troy is still offering his $5,000 guarantee. What is it, you ask? Well, if he can't sell your house at your price on your timeline that you agree upon beforehand, bam, going to cut you a check for $5,000. Who else makes the offer? Nobody I've ever heard of. And he makes that offer because he continues to spend a ton of money marketing his listings, has about 100 families approved and ready to buy right now. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy can buy your house, all cash, and he can close in as little as 7 days. You have a house to sell, Troy probably has that perfect buyer for you right now, waiting for you to pick up the phone and to call him. Call Troy, get your home sold for the most money. That's 720-900-4433, 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford of RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions do apply. Want to sell your house? Then call my buddy Troy, 720-900-4433.
When the Nuggets are knocking down threes, you score too. If Denver hits 15 or more three-pointers, you score a free 28-ounce Gatorade Lower Sugar the very next day at your friendly King Soopers. Gatorade Lower Sugar is scientifically formulated with Gatorade's #1 proven electrolyte blend and has 75% less sugar than Gatorade Thirst Quencher and no artificial flavors, sweeteners, or colors. Big shots deserve next-level hydration. Only at King Soopers.
Hi there, I'm Kim Rudell, owner of Wills and Wellness Estate Planning. If you've been putting off doing your estate plan, it's time to stop pushing your luck. It's never too late to get your estate plan in place. No more excuses. Our team makes the process and experience positive, straightforward, and even fun. Come see us and let us help you make a plan to secure your future and the future of your loved ones. Find us at willsandwellness.com or give us a call at 720-266-8190.
Names that rhyme, takes that hit different. Shapiro and Piro is happy hour sports talk built for the modern fan. Local stories, hidden gems, and the mustache monologues you never knew you needed. Weekdays at 3 p.m. on the Denver Sports 1043 The Fan YouTube channel. Subscribe now at Denver Sports 1043 and get in on the action. Denver Sports 1043 The Fan. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
The Colorado Avalanche put out a reminder to the rest of the NHL last night, and I had a front row seat for it, in some ways quite literally. We'll get to that here in just a second. First, come join Denver Sports 1043 The Fan for our home opener party this Friday at the Thirsty Lion Restaurant at Union Station. Dover and Cecil will be broadcasting live from the patio from 10 to 2 p.m., followed by The Drive from 2 to 6 p.m. Thirsty Lion will be registering people to win a $250 gift card, so that'll upgrade your day. So if you're looking for somewhere to go before or after the game, come hang out with us at the Thirsty Lion Restaurant at Union Station. All right, the Avs put out an epic reminder to the rest of the NHL of just who they are, or just who they're capable of being, Phil. 9-2 is a psychotic score. Just the 9th time in the history of the franchise that they registered 9 goals in a game. Should not be possible at the professional level against another professional team.
Yeah,
but
come on.
Seeing is believing.
Seeing is believing, but also when you have an all-star team, and yes, I'm going to call them an all-star team, like the Avs, and everybody's like-minded, like Nathan McKinnon, Marty Netjes, Art Kale, like all these guys have one goal right now. That's to fine-tune themselves. They're starting to peak at the right time, and now it's time for the postseason. And that's how that's how all of them are processing this. It's like, let's try to get through this. They got 9 games left. And if the Flames want to come into Ball Arena and play like that and look like that and don't want to show up, that's on them, not on us. So let's put them in the ground. Let's take them to Pound Town and let everybody have fun. And it was a laugher, Z. You were there. You were having a good time. My guessing is you bet on the game and you won some money betting on that game.
I did.
They move on from there.
Yep. Laid 2.5 goals, and I knew I had the bet wrapped up when there was 11 minutes left in the opening period. Like that first period that Jared Bednar called after the game, possibly the best period of the season, was just so dominant. It reminded me of my son, he's 7, and sometimes at recess I'll find out that they schemed up the team so one team is just obliterating the other. I'm like, what are you guys doing? How is that fun? Who's winning here? That's what that felt like. It felt like a bunch of bullies who were just going to punk the Flames. And I know the Flames are not close to being on the Avs level, but that's a bad team who had a really, really bad night. I mean, there were lanes for the Avs that a Zamboni could have drove through. I mean, it was that dramatic. They were playing with their food in periods 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Because if they kept the seriousness and it wasn't necessary, things got kind of loosey-goosey. If they kept the seriousness, I'm pretty sure the Avs could have scored 15 goals. And that sounds insane, but I'm being literal. If they kept the same intensity that they had for the first 9 minutes to go up 4-0, 5-0,
the Flames flamed out. They did not want to be there, and you're right. If the Avs would have just kept the foot on the gas, it would have been an even more embarrassing loss for Calgary.
Yeah, there wasn't even a scrap beyond the first 4 or 5 minutes. Typically, sometimes someone will be like, enough, and get in a fight or throw their weight around or just try to be wake their team up. The wake-up call, they slept through that alarm. Nathan McKinnon scored. Netchus scored. They each had a pair of assists. Jack Drury scored. Parker Kelly. What about this season for Parker Kelly?
I love me some Parker Kelly, man.
I
truly do.
Kidding me? This guy has been so productive. He walks away with a 3-point night. Sam Malinsky scores. Landy scores. I mean, it was just a scoring explosion that is rarely seen at the professional level. At one point, when the Avs went up 8-1, literally everyone around me was doing some version of a laugh. In addition to, clapping and doing the hey, hey, hey. It was just laughter, which is why they call it a laugher. That's what that was.
Simple, man. But what was more impressive was the power play. The power play was on display for the Avs, 3 or 4. Right, 3 or 4.
Hard to beat that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we'll take that any day. Go ahead, Avs. Do that every single game, and we're going to be just fine. Peaches and cream, we're going to be just fine. But 2 of the power play goals coming from Kadri, that was a great sight to see where Kadri's like, hey, it's my old team. It's not necessarily a get back because the Flames did him a favor by moving him to the Avs, and I guarantee he's grateful for that.
Very much
but
so.
For just for him to get the puck in the back of the net a couple times on the power play, and also him being on that unit has increased the goals, and it looks just a lot better and smoother. And it's like, man, now the power play moving forward, that's not the issue. That was the Achilles heel for a long time for the Avs, and now it doesn't seem like that's the issue. Penalty kill obviously is not the issue either. They've been phenomenal with that. Even with the adding of LOC has strengthened that penalty kill. So life is good for the Avs. Now they just got to maintain this, and they got to try to stay as healthy as possible.
Yeah, and obviously Kale did not finish the game. We are being told this afternoon that it's not considered to be serious, so that's great news. That was my hunch anyway when he finished the period after the hit.
Dr. Z here.
And I know anything is possible, right? Your adrenaline's going, but we get that news this afternoon. It's not feared to be serious, so we'll hold on to that. In terms of adding some texture to the power play stuff, so yeah, they scored a power play goal for the 4th straight game. All right, that's a season high. At the Olympic break, the Avs had the single worst power play percentage in the sport at just 15%. This month, I can't believe this is true, the Avs are 15 of 48 with the man advantage. That's over 31%. That is 3rd in the NHL since the start of the month. 15 power play goals in the month of March. That is more power play goals than December, January, and February combined. That is insane. And then when they're a man down, they've been perfect for 4 straight games. So a power play goal in 4 straight games, perfect on the penalty kill for 4 straight games. It was a 4 for 4, 4 for 4, 2 for 2, 1 for 1 last night.
Look at the memory coming back.
So it's just, I don't know. It's super encouraging. They're a steamroller. Right?
No,
they're a juggernaut. This team, I believe, with every ounce of me, is going to go win the Stanley Cup.
Everything's out in front of them. They have 8 more points that need to get in order for them to secure that number 1 seed, that number 1 spot. So, and we know that they're going to do it. Or it's just how long is it going to take? It shouldn't take long. They should be able to win this next one coming up. And if they have that professional approach, which I don't have to worry with that with the Avs. Like they're so tightly wound up right now, and they have one goal, and that's to win a cup. And they know there's a lot of pressure put on them. I mean, this is going to be locked and loaded, and they're going to be ready for that first playoff game. He comes soon.
Well, that first period was as good of a first period that I have seen since going back to period 1, game 1, round 1 of the 2022 Stanley Cup run when they played Nashville in the first round, and the score was 4-0 at the end of the first, and the place was just hysterical. It was in hysterics. Not quite to that degree last night. It's a regular season game on a Monday night, but in terms of like level of execution, it's been years since I saw a period like that. 42 shot attempts, 26 shots on goal. That's tied for the second most in the history of the team. Crazy. Okay, the Avs dumped cold water on the Flames, but I'll remember last night for something way beyond the 9 goals scored. That's coming up next.
With the idea that the Broncos fell short of their ultimate prize at running back in free agency, would it be in their best interest to still go out and find an insurance policy?
You tried for Breece Hall. He got franchise tag. It got to be too pricey for you. Your self-imposed budget prevented you from doing that. You're bringing back Dobbins. That makes sense as a third corresponding move. You brought back Dobbins after you struck out on Breece Hall and A-Chain. Good. You're bringing back Dobbins. I think that's a good move. Once those 2 other things didn't work out, you still need an insurance policy. And they will go get one. I know they will.
I'm about to file a claim.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Still haven't filed your taxes? Hey, you're not the only one. A lot of good people fall behind. But here's the thing. The longer you wait, the harder the IRS can hit back. Penalties stack up. Interest piles on. The letters get more aggressive. None of it magically disappears. It's why I always tell folks, call my friends at Advanced Tax Solutions. These are not generalists. They don't dabble in tax problems. They live in this world. Resolving IRS issues is all they do. Maybe you're 1 year behind. Maybe you're 10. Maybe you've got unfiled returns, wage garnishments, bank levies, or you're just losing sleep wondering what the IRS is going to do next. Their licensed tax professionals can step in fast, talk to the IRS for you, stop the stress, and start putting a real plan in place. And listen, waiting never makes it better. Every day you delay is another day the IRS gets to tighten the screws. One quick call to Advanced Tax Solutions, that could be the start of a quick resolution. So take control of your tax situation before the IRS does. Reach out to Advanced Tax Solutions today and breathe again.
If your heating and cooling system isn't keeping up, now's the time to upgrade. Enjoy better performance, improved indoor air quality, and energy savings with a new Bryant heating and cooling system. For a limited time, take advantage of rebates, incentives, and 0% financing on select Bryant systems. For quick fixes or entirely new heating and cooling systems, Bryant will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort. Visit BryantColorado.com to find a local Bryant dealer today. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found Tax Relief Advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax Relief Advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
Hey guys, it's Mark Schlereth. I just made one of the best decisions of my life. I got rid of my glasses. I went to Cutarelli Vision and had refractive lens exchange, RLE. I wore glasses for distance vision, but I got to that inevitable point in life where I was always needing those reading glasses just to do about anything, and half the time I couldn't find them. Seeing menus, texting, reading my computer, or studying film, it was a struggle. But now I see the world perfectly, near and far, without any glasses, thanks to Cutarelli Vision RLE, the perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You'll never develop a cataract. Dr. Cutarelli is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. You can trust him to know if it's the right time for you and RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consultation at coloradorle.com. Cutarelli Vision RLE, no readers, glasses, or contacts, or cataracts. coloradorle.com.
It's tax time, y'all. If you want to file free, this next one's for you.
Now taxes is so free. TurboTax, edition only, roughly 37% of filings qualify. Simple form 1040 returns only. Now this is tax.
Love that jam. Up next, commercials.
Intuit TurboTax free edition. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
All right, as we roll along here on a Tuesday, still got a bunch to get to. We're going to hear from Sean Payton at the top of the hour, who spoke this morning from the league meetings. Very interesting stuff. Also, I want to talk about what happened last night in Toronto. Holy smokes, did not see that coming. We'll get to it.
Any of us did.
No.
Shocker.
We'll get to it here. I think it's very interesting what happened last night. But there was several interesting things that happened last night at Ball Arena, and we were just kind of talking about the game itself. I have to share with you some of my personal experience that happened last night. That was just so cool and so special. We don't do a lot of segments like this, but a lot of sequences like what happened last night to me and my family. It doesn't
happen often.
It doesn't happen often.
No.
And so last night, it was a special night to be at Ball Arena. If you were lucky enough to be there, you were a part of the 9th ever game in Avs history where they scored 9 goals. A couple of years ago, we had a listener reach out, a few years ago. Listener reach out. He doesn't like me to say his name, but I had made some throwaway comment talking about the Avs schedule, and I was like, oh, and there's a game on Saturday at noon. I said, maybe that's a good day to bring my son. And so we get this message on the RamosLaw.com text line. And Drew comes in, and because I didn't see it, and Drew comes in, And he says, man, there's a guy on the text line who seems like a normal guy that is offering you his tickets to the game on Saturday.
What you talking about? Everybody's a normal guy on the text line. See?
It can be a little bit crazy, but when you text in, we can see every text that you've ever sent the station. And so when you look at the track record of someone who's like behaving normally and, you know, being just like a normal person and not a psychopath, I was like, okay, I'll message this guy back. So we exchanged stuff, and he ends up sending us tickets, and it was such a generous gesture. But I didn't accept the tickets like through the app and stuff until the day of the game. And so I realize that these tickets that this guy is giving us are on the glass. And I had never sat on the glass in an NHL game. And my son had never been to a Avs game at the time. He was 5. And so it was our first game together. And it was an incredible experience. So this generous listener has given us these tickets, one game for 3 straight years, and last night was the game.
So it's starting to be like a tradition.
A little bit.
Seems like
a little bit. And we're super thankful. We send them pictures and stuff from the night. And so last night, we as a company, we had our suite, and I was already going to this game. And my wife spoke up and was like, hey, like, what if I have this experience with Owen? It's like, okay, like, all right.
Yeah, simmer down. Like maybe next time.
So I say, okay, you guys do it, and then I'll come down, we'll swap seats, and I'll do a period, and you do 2 of the periods and whatever. And so, dude, my son, ended up having a Hall of Fame, like a family Hall of Fame night. And for whatever reason, Phil, Gabe Landeskog, our captain, took a liking to my boy. And he was showing him the love. And I get this text message. I'm not sitting down there. I get this text message from my wife who says, there's something going on between Gabe and Owen. I'm like, what kind of message is this,
like,
right?
What in the heck happened? Did Owen just beat up Gabe?
And she's like, he's making eyes with him, and he is just showing him love. And then I get this video of my son. Gabe is taping his stick up, and he's standing behind Mackenzie Blackwood, and the tickets aren't just on the glass; they're butt up against the Avs bench.
So you can see the players, you can damn near feel them breathe, hear them breathe. Other than the plexiglass being right there, that's the only thing separating your boy, your wife from the player.
Correct. So I'm twice as far from you across this table as my son is from Mackenzie Blackwood.
That's crazy.
So whatever goalie isn't starting, they're the furthest all the way to the left, and so Gabe stands behind Mackenzie Blackwood, and he's taping his stick up, and my son stands up and puts his fist up against the glass, and there Landeskog was, giving my son like a hearty pound and a smile. Couple minutes later, this dude Landeskog takes his stick and collects a like scoop full of snow, and they call it like icing. Mm-hmm. He took that scoop full of snow from the ice on the boards, and he dumped it over the glass on my kid. And now it just happened to be the night that you're going to win 9-2.
Yeah.
He had already scored.
He's feeling good.
The team is rolling, so he has the bandwidth within the game to have these micro interactions. I was down there with him for the second period. He skates by in a timeout, gives him a smile. Gabe Landeskog, for whatever reason, and I know he's got a son in a similar age, and so maybe like when he's looking at Owen, he's thinking of himself and like, you know, that used to be me or something like that.
It would make sense if that,
or that could be my son.
Exactly, yeah.
And so it was just the coolest experience. And my wife got the pound with Gabe Landeskog on film, and so to have that will be in our family for a very long time. And this is his favorite player. Like, it's his favorite player is Gabe. And he watched the documentary on TNT and his comeback story. He feels like he knows Gabe Landeskog.
But see, that's what it's all about. One, for you, it's about the memories. It's about being able to have those moments, not just with your son, but this time with your wife. You know, sacrificing the front row tickets. Z, good job. Good job on your part, man, for your wife to have that experience with Big O. That right there means a lot. And then, of course, you being there, too, coming down from your suite, then to the front glass. I mean, that's big.
Oh, my gosh. Listen.
That's big time.
And you want to know what's crazy? It's like I tell the story, and and there's a couple other things, like Scott Wedgwood, if you guys watched the game, had that highlight save in the third period.
Beautiful.
When he plucks that piece of rubber out of thin air like a shortstop and drops to his butt. And there was a TV timeout after that. Wedgwood skates right over to my kid and gives him a pound through the glass. And like, it's special. Kadri, after the game, he's the first star in the arena, and they do the the
announcement. He talks about it.
Yep, and they do the interview after the game, and like, there my kid is on the Jumbotron and on the TV broadcast, with my wife, realizing so it was all just is very special, very, very memorable. Because how often in life do you get to have an interaction like that with your favorite player?
Not often at all.
And there's a part of me, and I have to say this, there's a part of me that almost like, this is going to sound so weird, it feels like guilt, because I know that my son is having this experience because he is privileged. And it's the complete opposite of the way that I grew up. We didn't go to games when I was growing up. We just didn't go. We didn't have them. I was raised by a single mom and multiple kids, and we were on the poverty line when my dad didn't make his payment. And so to see him live this life that I wouldn't even have, like, we didn't make Christmas lists growing up because we weren't gonna ask for, that just wasn't. So like, to see him living this life that he doesn't have a frame of reference of how lucky he is, and I try to talk to him. I try to talk to him and look up at the top of the arena.
Young, was he 7?
He's 7.
Goes in one ear, out the other.
Yeah, and so I think he knows he's blessed because we tell him how blessed he is, but he doesn't fully understand the context. And so he's in this position of privilege where he's the closest to the bench, so he's getting these interactions where there's a kid equally as cute, 6 seats to the left or 8 seats up, let alone 80 seats up. And so it was the whole thing, dude. The whole thing. And here's like a part of the cherry on top. When we were at the game last year in the same seats, this older couple behind us drives an hour and a half from Fort Collins to every single home game.
Damn.
And they were loving up my boy last year, and they bought him Bernie.
Yes, yeah.
The mascot. And they spent $25 for a stranger. Who does that?
There's people, a good person or husband and wife.
Yeah. And they wanted to bless my boy. Guess what my boy brought to the game? He brought Bernie. And those same people were behind us and remember us from a year ago. The whole thing was so epic and special and is in our family's Hall of Fame. To give Gabe a pound, for Gabe to be cognizant enough to scoop up that snow, dump the ice, dump that snow on him over the glass. The whole thing was just insane. And we have incredible gratitude to these people who hooked us up. They don't like when we say their names. But it was special.
You, man. They were like, just don't say our names. Don't let it come from you, Z.
Well, I said it the first year, 3 years ago when he was 5. And he said, hey, don't do that.
Yeah.
And so it was just special, man. It's going in our family's Hall of Fame. And so I'll remember last night's game way beyond the season, way beyond the 9 goals. Just a lot of unique stuff happening last night for us. Okay, had to tell that story. So last night, while this was happening, actually, the Rockies threw us the best kind of curveball in Toronto. It was rather historical. We'll tell you why. Also, Sean Payton speaking from the league meetings, and we learned some stuff. And we'll get to it all as we are on the doorstep of 40 consecutive minutes of commercial-free sports talk coming up next.
Baseball is back, and Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is leading off the season in style. Join us Friday, April 3rd for our home opener party at Thirsty Lion Restaurant at Union Station. Dover and Cecil will get the party started live from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Then the Tribe will come out of the bullpen to close things out from 2 to 6.
How about that?
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Hey guys, your boy Stink here. Are you considering GLP-1 injections for weight loss? Before you start, ask yourself this. Are you prepared to spend $3,000 to $5,000 per year and stay on the medication long-term to maintain the results? Many prescription weight loss injections require weekly shots, and when the medication is stopped, weight regain is common. And here's something most people don't realize. Research shows a significant portion of weight loss can come from muscle, which may slow your metabolism and make keeping weight off even harder. At Colorado Fat Loss, they take a different approach. Their doctor-developed program helps men and women lose 20 to 40 pounds in just 60 days safely and naturally. No injections, no synthetic hormones, no long-term dependence. Instead, they use real food to reset your metabolism, control hunger and cravings naturally, and help your body burn fat, not muscle. Right now, you can schedule a free phone consultation to see if the program is right for you. Go to ColoradoFatLoss.com. That's ColoradoFatLoss.com.
Results may vary.
If you're going to ask her to spend the rest of your life with you, shouldn't you give her a diamond worthy of that journey?
One that you can give her with no regrets?
A diamond that shines like no other.
That's why our family started Williams Jewelers over 75 years ago. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Bruce Williams. Today, Williams Jewelers is Denver's finest diamond engagement ring store with 10 times the selection of diamonds, engagement rings, and wedding bands you'll find in average stores.
Where you get a lifetime quality guarantee that protects you for the life of the ring.
A lifetime diamond upgrade guarantee.
A 30-day money-back price and total satisfaction guarantee.
And no regrets.
Give her a diamond worthy of her and your money's worth.
Say will you with Williams.
Where Colorado shines.
Williams Jewelers, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
Williams Jewelers in Cherry Creek North on 3rd Avenue between Fillmore and Detroit, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche.
As temperatures rise, the last thing you want is an air conditioner that can't keep up. That's where Day and Night Mechanical Solutions of Denver comes in. They specialize in repairing and installing all types of heating and cooling systems, keeping your home comfortable no matter the season. From quick repairs to full system replacements, their expert technicians get the job done right the first time. Call Day and Night Mechanical Solutions or visit dnmech.com to schedule your service or free estimate. Day and Night Mechanical Solutions. Heating and cooling you can count on. Day and night.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here. I've been around long enough to know the difference between tough talk and real quality, and that's why I trust Ravenous Window Center of Littleton. Right now, get 25% off Infinity by Marvin fiberglass windows. You'll also get 20% off of James Hardy siding, engineered to resist hail, fire, moisture, even woodpeckers. Invest wisely with 12 months, no interest, and no payments. Schedule your free consultation at Ravenous Window Center of Littleton today. Call them 303-794-0490 or visit them online at windowsforyourhome.com.
Men, we all know how important sex is in a relationship, both for you and your partner. But erectile dysfunction ruins sex, which can often have serious impacts on your relationship as well. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if ED is a problem in your life, you understand the impacts it has on you and the one you love. But I'm here to tell you that ED is a treatable condition, and almost without exception, you can have really good sex again. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men with protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, good sex will be the norm. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a level of intimacy for you and your partner that might just astound you both. It's time to have really good sex again, so call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
Between groceries, travel, and higher prices, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, especially if you're already relying on credit cards to cover the basics. If that debt is piling up, you're not alone. If you're a homeowner, you might have considered reaching out to American Financing, but hesitated because you don't want to give up your low mortgage rate. That's why American Financing created the Smart Equity Loan, a simple, smart way to get your finances back on track without giving up your low mortgage rate. Unlike a HELOC, which can fluctuate with the market, the Smart Equity Loan offers a fixed rate, so you'll have one predictable monthly payment. It lets you use your home's equity to pay off high-interest debt, free up your cash flow, and still keep your existing mortgage intact. There are no upfront fees to find out how much you can save. Call 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. Info at positivecoach.org.
Ditch the bland, flavorless sports talk and tune into Freshly Grated, where Will Peterson and Marcello Romano serve up piping hot takes and bold opinions with no filter and an extra side of sarcasm. Every weekday at 2 p.m. on the Denver Sports 1043 The Fan YouTube channel. Like and subscribe today at Denver Sports 1043 and come along for the ride. Denver Sports 1043 The Fan. You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
All right, we'll get to the Sean Payton stuff at the top of the hour. But, man, last night was a curveball in Toronto. Goodness gracious.
Great curveball, man. Great one.
So you guys know the deal. They lost their first 3 games of the season down in Miami. They go way up north, which has been so unkind to them. Going into last night, this is why I say that there's some history here. Going into last night, they were 1-11 all-time in Toronto.
Yep.
1-11. Now they're 2-11. And talk about just like something that you didn't see coming. You could like say that again. The Blue Jays were a 3-1 favorite. You had to bet, if you wanted to win $100 on the Blue Jays to win the game, you had to fork over $300. All right? And for the Rockies to not just win, but to win 14-3 and avoid the first 0-for-4 start in the history of the team, man, that was impressive.
Very impressive, Z. And just to watch it, right? You're watching the game, and I had to keep changing from the Avs game to the Rockies game, but then all of a sudden it got interesting. Right, we got interested with the Rockies when they were able to get those runs in the 6th inning, and it's like, okay, they're opening this up. We're playing against the Blue Jays on the road, and yet this is how we look. And it was fun to watch throughout the game. It was exciting, and there was just something to it where it's like, yeah, they were 0-3 going into the game, but when you pull back, you like to say the layers, right? Onions have layers. I always think of Shrek when I say that. Mm-hmm. You pull back the layers. Both those 3 games that they lost, the Rockies were talking about, they lost earlier, they were by one score. And it's like they're in it. They're in the thick of things, but they have to find a way to finish. And last night, being able to go on that tear, to go on those runs and have that success and see everybody getting involved, it was fun to see the Rockies finally win and win in good fashion.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. It was awesome. So I was at the Avs game, and when I left here, the score was 1-0.
Yeah.
Rockies. I'm like, okay, that's a good start. And then I'm at the game, and Mike Evans says, yeah, the Rockies look at the score. And I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, is that right? I literally pulled up my phone to double-check the score. That's how much doubt I had Mike telling me what was going on. And it had nothing to do with Mike. It's more to do with the Rockies.
Yeah.
Like, is this actually happening?
Is this real?
They're not just winning, but they're pounding the former AL champ from a year ago. So you mentioned the 6th inning. The Rockies ended up pulling away a 7-run 6th inning, ultimately sending 11 different batters to the plate. And it was Troy Johnston, launched a 2-run homer, his first with the Rockies. Welcome to Colorado, although it was in Toronto, obviously. Tovar delivered a 3-hit, 3 RBI night, including not 1 but 2 doubles. So there was a lot of stuff going on. Hunter Goodman, Bretton Doyle each had 2-hit nights. And we talked about the runners in scoring position following the Miami series. And I think the stat was they were 3 for 20 over the weekend with runners in scoring position. They were the 2nd worst in Major League Baseball a year ago, hitting .233 with runners in scoring position. Last night, the team went 7 for 18 with runners in scoring position. They also stole 3 bases, which is turning into like an early season trend.
Yeah, they had a really good success versus the Marlins throughout that series, and then of course starting off with the Blue Jays, they've continued that trend and heating up. So it's great to see that, man. They're stealing bases, they're into it, they're looking smart at what they're doing, man. But can they sustain this? Who knows? But it's fun right now, Z.
Yeah, 17 hits yesterday. They had 19 total hits in 3 games against Miami. So really good sign. Here's a stat that will just it's kind of mind-bending. All right? It's kind of mind-bending. You got to listen closely, though, okay?
Read it closely.
So
read it clear, Z, and slow for someone like me.
So
All right.
So listen to this. The Rockies are the first Major League Baseball team since the 1912 New York Giants. This is why some people still say the New York Football Giants. At least where I'm from, that is a very common term, the New York Football Giants. And that's because you had to make the distinction because there was a baseball team, the New York Giants. So the Rockies are the first Major League Baseball team since the 1912 New York Giants to lose 3 of their first 4 games of a season while also scoring 20 or more runs and allowing 15 runs or fewer. I'm just going to read it one more time.
Please do.
It's kind of freaky. The Rockies are the first Major League Baseball team since the 1912 New York Giants to lose 3 of their first 4 games of the year while also scoring 20 runs themselves and allowing 15 or fewer from their opponents. The Giants, by the way, went on to win the NL pennant that season before losing to the Red Sox in the World Series.
So you're saying that there's a chance.
I'm not saying that the Rockies are going to go win the NL pennant.
You kind of did right there.
But we do have histomy to draw from that this could be the case. So
what my man say, it could happen.
It could happen. So, yeah, really good stuff. Tomoyuki Sagano, his first start, pretty impressive. Now, we didn't go deep into the game, but against a high-powered offense, he held the Blue Jays to 2 hits, including 1 solo homer from George Springer, and Warren Schaefer talked about it before the season started. Solo homers. You can live with those. You just don't want the bases crowded when that thing's flying out of the ballpark. Sagano did a walk 2. He struck out 4 in 4 2/3, and then we got to see Chase Dollinger come out of the bullpen. He pitched the final 4 innings. He surrendered 4 runs, including 3 homers.
Yeah.
On 5 hits with 2 walks, but he also struck out 5. So
sporadic, Z.
Boomer bust.
Very sporadic. It's good to see him out there, on the mound, and the confidence is going to come, and he'll get into a rhythm, but very sporadic, and hopefully it does happen for the young man, because I really want him to succeed. We all do. We need him to succeed moving forward for those flashes, and we'll see it.
Yeah, and you did see just a glimpse of it last night, here and there. But there's a reason that he's coming out of the bullpen right now. And so the Rockies still struggle with strikeouts. That's another big theme to watch this year. It was last couple seasons, but definitely last season, it was egregious. The strikeouts and the runners with scoring position. And so each of those, the runners with scoring position, obviously much better last night. They still struck out 10 times, though. So let's just keep our eye, again, on some of those bigger themes. Now, let's do a U-turn to a conversation we had yesterday.
You're flipping a Yui.
We did not realize the Rocks were going to go do what they did. So I have to ask again, will the Colorado Rockies at any point this season get back to 500? Or get to 500?
Get to 500.
You got to get to 500 before you can ever get back to 500. They haven't been over 500 in 3 years.
So you got March, right? This is the last day of March. April. It's still early. So I'm going to say yes. If they can find a way to win here when they play again the Blue Jays here soon, then maybe, just maybe, they can get to 500. But after a performance like that, I mean, I'm not going to put it past them. They could do something like that. What you thinking? You said no last time, and look what happened. All those scores.
I'm gonna say no. I'm still gonna say no. Tonight it's Ryan Feltner against Max Scherzer. Scherzer's not close to where he used to be, but I would still like the Blue Jays in a bounce back game after getting thumped, and I would just bet on the overcorrection there from Toronto, with the Phillies after that, Houston after that. On the road at San Diego after that, on the road at Houston after that, with the Dodgers waiting in the series after that. I'll just be pragmatic. So, like, removing any emotion I have from it. Obviously, I'm hopeful. I'm still going to say no. Guys behind the glass, from where you were yesterday, is the answer the same? Will the Rockies get to 500? Just get to 500 at any point this season?
I think I still say no. I think they're going to be a lot more competitive this year, but I think that requires them, taking 2 out of 3 off Toronto and then probably 2 out of 3 against Philly.
Correct.
I just don't see that happening.
Drew?
I'm kind of changing my mind a little bit.
You like to do that too, Drew.
I do sometimes. Well, with new evidence presents,
sure,
new opinions. No, I think I know this is kind of, stating the obvious, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say if they win this game tonight, they will actually take 2 out of 3 from Philly, and they'll be 500 by the time we come back in here next Monday.
All right, that would be unforeseen. I'll say that for someone with a win total of 55.5, I believe it is.
Say 50, is it 55? They might put
it was like
54.
anywhere from 54 to 56.
Okay. All right. Well, if that was a welcome surprise, we'll see if they can duplicate it here as the evening unfolds. This is KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. We are coming with it, and we are coming for it. It's Zach By and Phillip Lindsay, and we are The Drive. Woo! Rolling downhill here on a Tuesday in the last day of the month of March. Appreciate you guys rocking with us. As we turn the page, Sean Payton. Sean Payton back behind a microphone.
You gotta love it. You love to see it. You love to hear it. Sean's gonna give you a couple gold nuggets, Z. He's gonna talk. He's gonna put you in your place. And also, he's going to put you on blast sometimes if he feels like he needs to. So it's always fun when old Sean Payton has a mic.
Yeah, you're never sure what he is going to say. And so this morning, he made himself available to the local media for the first time since that end of the season press conference, which was eventful, I would say, considering some of the stuff that went on there. So we're hearing him for the first time in a long time. Jalen Waddle and that trade was always going to be a topic of conversation. It certainly was. Here's Sean.
Obviously, we're excited. I would say this process took a while, and credit Miami and George, the patience of coming to a real fair deal, but with regards to the player, he's explosive. I think if you ask me, the single biggest thing that I think he does well is he's extremely fast and he stops fast. He can sink his hips in transition. And then the other thing that came up time and time again was how competitive he is. I'm very close with Teddy Bridgewater. We're close with a lot of people who've had a chance to work with him. And I think whenever you get into a big name free agent or a trade of this magnitude, all the other stuff is important to research. And so when it comes to Waddle's all the other stuff, it was 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. And so I think obviously it'll help us.
Couple of things here that I think are interesting. One, and this is the second time we've heard this with Jalen Waddle, or about Jalen Waddle, rather. Sean Payton emphasizing his ability to stop and drop his weight and flip his hips. And, so oftentimes when we talk about athletes, we are emphasizing the 0 to 60 stuff. And, man, it takes a unique type of athlete. Tyreek Hill comes to mind. Jalen Brunson in basketball, the way that he shifts gears and starts and stops.
Stop and go.
Yeah, like the ability to go not from 0 to 60, but from 60 to 0. That was the first trait that he emphasized with Waddle.
If you want to be a special receiver, all right, because every position is different. With running backs, you don't want a lot of stop and go. Of course, you want that to be able to use that as a change-up. But as a receiver, you're doing so much stopping and going because you have so many different routes. It's not just a go ball, but it's like, okay, 15-yard comeback. And so the faster that you can get in and out of your break, the faster that you can stop and switch your hips or change your hips makes you more of a dynamic weapon and hard to guard for cornerbacks. You end up being a nightmare, and that's exactly what Jalen Waddle brings to the table. And being able to see that up close and personal and see how fast he does get in and out of his breaks, it's impressive to see. Also, the toughness. That's one thing that Sean didn't say enough of when it comes to Waddle. Yes, he's competitive, but he's very tough, and he does not care about getting hit down the middle of the field. Why is that so important? Because Sean and Davis Webb, my guessing, They want to hit the middle of the field. When you can hit the middle of the field, you open up the plays, you open up everybody else, and now you have safeties that have to see the middle of the field and not just the outsides. It makes it harder for a defense to defend it. So when you do it and put all that together with Jalen Waddle, it's just like, man, you're bringing in another weapon, another asset to open up this playbook for Davis Webb, for Bo Nix, for the offense in general. And it's going to be a fun freaking year for the Denver Broncos as long as they can stay healthy.
Yeah, there's no question. I'm as anxious and forward-looking to this year or looking forward rather, as any year in recent memory. I feel like I say that every year, but as the stakes get larger,
this one's special, man. It can be.
There's no question about it. Here is more from Sean Payton, where Jalen Waddle will play in this offense.
Yeah, so if you guys said where does he play, man, he's played everywhere. I've seen him outside as a tremendous route runner. Inside, the route tree is pretty expansive. I'd say, I just said it, the best thing that I think he does is he's explosive, he's dynamic. A lot of times the guys run fast, but I think he sinks his hips in transition. So I think you'll see him play inside in the slot, you'll see him play outside. We'll have speed packages that'll feature, we'll have, how we're not just going to have, and I know someone's getting ready to ask me, is he receiver 1 or 2? And so that we just play different packages and try to give those guys the things that they do well.
I know that he probably does not qualify as a joker, but he's a bit of a queen on the chessboard. If you believe that they're going to actually follow through, that Sean's going to follow through with how to use him, It's been many, many years since the Denver Broncos had an effective slot receiver.
No, it has been.
As long as they haven't had a tight end, they also haven't had a slot receiver as well.
And you're right. And we were hoping that Mims would be that guy, right? That slot receiver, the joker type of role. And it hasn't been the case. Mims hasn't been involved enough. So for Sean, and I don't even want to see the packages. Just utilize this man. And how do you do that? The motions. That messes people up when you have a receiver that's that fast, that's motioning across the field, and maybe he stops and then he goes again. Because now for that cornerback, it's like, how do you defend that? That's what the Chiefs have done a great job of game planning. Think about it. When the Chiefs won the Super Bowl versus who was it? It was the 49ers. They came out with that play where that fast receiver motioned in and then all of a sudden they go back out.
That's right.
You do creative things like that with someone like Jalen Waddle. Utilize him. You traded for him. You're paying him this fat contract. Why not use, and it sounds bad, but why not use him up?
Yeah.
Use him all over the field, open up the game for him, but also for his teammates too, because now everybody is going to say, okay, all eyes on Waddle. What is he doing? He's moving around, and now you have Cortland that's one-on-one with the 50-50 ball. Like, there's so many things that can happen this year if they unlock Waddle the right way.
I love Sean getting out ahead of the wide receiver 1 conversation. And just like, we're not even going to talk about it.
Yeah, nip it in the bud.
And I'm sure it will fluctuate, Sunday in, Sunday out. Here's a little bit more from Sean Payton talking about J.K. Dobbins. And listen what he really tries to emphasize here.
George and I, we're all sitting in there going through the puzzle. And, I think there were certain priorities. Dobbins was a priority ahead of all others. Now, that'll anger people. We know he's been injured. We understand. And the injuries haven't been soft tissue driven, but he's someone that's one of those, those compound multipliers. Like, he brings 10 others along with him in a positive light. Like, our success last year, he's got some fingerprints on that. Dre has some, all these players that came in that have been in winning programs, are a big part of how you win 14 games in call it year 3 of the program.
All right, so few things here. One, you hear him really try to get the point across. He was our top priority.
He emphasized that. Sean Payton emphasized the top priority, J.K. Dobbins. He was number 1.
He was number 1. And he goes, I know that's going to, anger some people that he's, and that's like classic Sean stopping halfway through the sentence, instead of saying, oh, he's injury prone, he'll just say and then he'll continue.
And he wants you to fill in the blank.
You just got to keep up with him. J.K. Dobbins was not the Denver Broncos' top priority. I understand why Sean would say this, because I think of the shoe being on the other foot, if he was 1,000% transparent in a way that we're not even looking for. So I get it. But if he went up there and he was asked about J.K. Dobbins, he's like, yeah, no, well, we had to settle with Dobbins because, we tried to go after, Breece Hall and the Jets handcuffed him. And then we pivoted to Travis Etienne and, that didn't work out. So we circled all the way back to Dobbins. He's never going to say that.
It's a bad look to say that.
It is.
Nobody wants to be the number 3 option.
No.
Which J.K. Dobbins, Z, I think you and I both agree and believe that he was the number 3 option. He was the 3rd option when everything fell through with Breece Hall, which, by the way, the Broncos wanted. We all know that. Travis Etienne was another one that the Broncos were eyeing. We know that. And that fell through because Travis Etienne wanted to stay home. He wanted the $13 million. I want the $13 million too. So if you want to share some, Travis, please do. But with JK, I think that Sean putting it out there to the world and emphasizing like he was a top priority, we all know that JK likes to mingle on social media.
Oh, yeah.
And that he's listening to his coach. And whatever your coach says, it can stick with you. And it can help you or it can hurt a player when they start talking, or it can make you mad or be in your feelings. So I get that they're trying to hype up JK. But also it's like, how could you be a top priority when you are injured all the time? Why is that? Like
well, you see, there,
JK,
even Sean, the day after George did it yesterday,
yes.
they're putting out this message that they do not believe that J.K. Dobbins is injury
which
prone.
is so backwards because anybody else, you start having injuries, you're considered injury prone. It may help you or hurt you, but for organization, usually it helps you get that player for cheaper. Now you're trying to acknowledge that yes, the injuries are there, but he's not injury prone pretty much. Like, come on, cut the crap. Just say that, like, in your head, he was the number 3 option. 2 fell through. You had to suck up to JK for him to come back into the building and willing to accept what you guys are offering, because my guessing is that's what happened. We wouldn't be just talking about this if we didn't believe that, Z. And you call it a spade, right? A spade, and you move on.
Yeah, they whether it's Dobbins, George Payton, and Sean Payton all putting out the same message within a week's time. With Dobbins on NFL Network, and then George Payton yesterday, Sean Payton today. And what they're doing is, especially with Dobbins and Sean Payton specifically, is they're using soft tissue injuries as like a post of what his injuries are not. And he's like, people are going to say he's injured. Like, no, like there's no soft tissue injuries. Again, I don't understand why, and I don't think there's something to understand why blowing your ACL and popping your Achilles tendon and
meniscus tear, you have to get that cleaned up, and now you have the ankle.
Liz Frank,
or the foot.
Yeah, that doesn't make the injury history better. That they were major devastating injuries. It's super backward. It's definitely counterintuitive. But he's their guy, so this is the message that they're going to put out. I got it. It was interesting that he put Dre Greenlaw in the multiplier conversation.
Yeah, he just randomly puts his name in there.
Yeah, that Dobbins, he impacts so many people. It's like he impacted the whole room, kind of like Dre. And it's like, well, Greenlaw didn't really play for the Denver Broncos. Not a whole heck of a lot. Anyway, here is more from Sean Payton talking about criticism that the organization was facing during the first week of free agency and some of that angst.
I know. We tune out the angst. And there was a lot of angst when we selected Bo, where we selected him. There was a lot of angst when we made quite a few of these decisions. And look.
Yeah, could you talk about...
Well, I'm going to finish.
Yeah.
You have to tune that out.
Yeah.
Now, I said this in a jokingly manner. We're aware of that. Like, we understand that. And yet, you cannot chase what others outside the building feel like you should be doing. We spent a lot of time on this free agency class. We had a pecking order of what we thought was most important, and we were able to accomplish that. Now, I'm sure as hell glad that we had the Waddle trade done before I was coaching that damn flag football game. and our fan base wasn't going crazy as I'm working on a flag game plan.
So Sean, some lightness there at the end. But this is one part about Sean Payton I do admire, amongst a handful of things, because I'm pretty fascinated with Sean Payton just in general, in that he really is unbothered with people's opinions. Now, that doesn't mean that he doesn't listen to the opinions, because he might listen as much as any coach in the NFL.
Oh, he listens. He listens all the time.
Social media and what we do here and reading, he has made a dozen comments since he got the job that it would be impossible to make if you weren't in the know, if you weren't online, right, as they say. And but I like that. Yeah, you listen, you hear it. Sometimes it might piss you off a little bit or whatever, but like it's never going to steer the decision making for the football operation. He is unbothered with Broncos country for a week straight, losing their minds. He's unbothered, and that's how you would want your head coach to be.
You know what? Yeah, and you said it earlier, because if he listens to the fans, at some point he's going to become that fan.
He'll be sitting with them.
He'll be sitting right there with them, cheering on like you and I, Z. But also, he's getting paid millions of dollars to do his job, and his job is to win football games, to find the right football players that fit his system, that fit the locker room. And he has done that multiple times with the New Orleans Saints. He has a Super Bowl, and I think that we tend to forget that, right? That someone like Sean Payton has won a Super Bowl. He has a Hall of Fame quarterback in Drew Brees, so he knows what he's doing. George is another one that's been around for a very long time. So although they're doing things different this year, and they're bringing back a lot of the same guys, and fans, a lot of fans out there at least, didn't like that, they feel like they have a great plan. They feel like they have a great identity, and they're going to stick with it, right? They're going to stick with their gut, just like we do here, Z. We stick with our gut. We stick with your gut sometimes, even though it stinks. And you just keep moving forward, and you have built that identity up, and the Denver Broncos have done that. They get the benefit of the doubt moving forward because of what they have done over the years, and last year being a year when nobody thought they were going to go 14-3, be a half a game or a half.
A half of football,
away from the Super Bowl. And now, look at us. I'm over here saying it's Super Bowl or bust because of what we saw last year. And so we have to trust Sean. We have to trust George in what they're bringing to the table and what they think is right for the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, and when you say they've earned the benefit of the doubt, I think that's exactly what this is. And I remember trying to get that point across during that week of inactivity while I was frustrated about the lack of a heavy-handed approach at the running back position. I remember saying multiple times, hasn't this operation earned some trust here? Like, do you think nothing's coming? And something obviously did. And Sean joking around, I'm thankful that it did before that flag football game. That
we are too.
For sure.
We are too.
Because it changes the entire complexion of the offseason. But during that week of inactivity in free agency, they were having the conversations. This all wasn't by accident. But by the way, Sean does not like that phrase of run it back.
It's not let's run it back. I hate that term. All right? It's not let's run it back. Let's understand one thing. It's anything but that. When you win 11 of 13 one-score games, like you saw the flip in just one season between Kansas City, it's how do you improve your team, and the better you get, the harder it is to improve your team. And so you just weren't patient enough for us to trade for Waddle. Your stories had been written.
Your stories had been written.
Damn, Sean.
And this is classic Sean Payton. That is classic Sean Payton. But I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
Do you agree with what he said when it said it's not run it back?
Well, so it was actually kind of confusing.
Yes.
Just to be totally transparent.
See, if I'm confusing, something ain't right.
Well,
usually I'm the one being confusing.
Well,
look at me.
Confused. Yes.
There you go. See?
He said, the better you get, the harder it is to improve your team. But he also said, I'm not naive enough to think, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't know if he actually used the word naive, but he's like, I'm not naive enough to think that the 11-3 in one-score games is going to stay the same. Look at Kansas City. And so I actually want to hear that. I want to play the whole thing again. It's about 30 seconds. Here it is.
It's not let's run it back. I hate that term. All right? It's not let's run it back. Let's understand one thing. It's anything but that. When you win 11 of 13 one-score games, like you saw the flip in just one season between Kansas City, it's how do you improve your team, and the better you get, the harder it is to improve your team. And so you just weren't patient enough for us to trade for Waddle. Your stories had been written.
All right, so I really don't know what to make heads and tails of the one-score reference.
Mm-hmm.
Because he said it's not. I think if I'm trying to get in his head, what he meant was it's not run it back because you're never going to replicate 11-3 in one-score games. That's an NFL record. So don't think about running because that's so unique. Look at Kansas City. But I don't think that he gave anything concrete of like why this isn't run it back from a roster standpoint. But mostly. And then he gets to it at the end of like, you didn't see this trade coming. So they didn't improve the roster, but I don't know.
But they didn't see this trade coming either at one point. It kind of got going again when the combine came rolling around, but that was never a guaranteed. And at that time, once free agency started, they weren't done with the trade. They were probably going back and forth. And if we all remember, George said they weren't close. And then all of a sudden, everything broke through at the right time. So if the trade never happened, which it could have never happened if they didn't get things right and they wouldn't give up that first-round draft pick, it would have been considered run it back. They brought everybody back. Everybody back. And nobody that has been brought to the Broncos free agency has been new. So to me, it's confusing because it is the running back Broncos. Now you sprinkle in someone like Jalen Waddle that you got through a trade, which you didn't know if it was going to go through or not. You guys were trying to get it done, but it wasn't a guarantee. That's my thought process on it was it's run it back.
Well, although that answer was a little bit convoluted, it largely is run it back. I do not think the expectation, and it doesn't sound like Sean Payton, like 14-3 is really, really, really hard.
It is really hard.
I mean, that's insane. No one saw this. And Sean is not naive enough to think that 11-3 in one-score games is going to happen again. So I think that there's a scenario, and we talked about this a couple months ago, where the Broncos could be just as good, maybe even better year over year, but it's an oblong ball. It's a random sport. 11 on 11, 50 guys play on a game day, so they could be just as good, if not better, and lose some of those one-score games, those miracle comebacks that they won, and be, 11-6, and be the same caliber of team. Maybe, dare I say, even 10-7.
See, I'd be okay with 11-6. 10-7 is a little dicey, but 11-6 because of the schedule this year. All right, you're playing the number one schedule, the hardest schedule that you could play. The Denver Broncos are so it's not the same as last year. There are easier games. This year, you're playing some tougher opponents. So, yes, if you drop some of those games, you don't win 14, it's not the end of the world. But you got to at least win, I say in my head, 11. If you can win 11 and they look really, really good and you're competitive against some of the other teams and maybe you drop one because they have a game-winning field goal, I can live with that.
All right, here's a little bit more. Now, this is a bit of a curveball, okay? This is a bit of a curveball in that the Broncos may be asking Jonah Ellis to change positions. Now, Jonah Ellis is a good football player. He plays outside linebacker, all right? The kid out of Utah. His older brother in the league as well for the Patriots, formerly of the Saints. And this was Sean Payton from earlier today about a potential position switch for Jonah Ellis from outside backer to inside.
It's the decision to give him snaps going forward.
Yeah, well, what goes into that decision?
Well, skill set. It's a position where we're wanting. I drafted his brother, and the same thing happened with Zach Bond. Only we couldn't get Zach Bond on the field. Now Philadelphia managed to, and it was really looking at your assets. And we know he's smart, tough. He's got all the. And so sometimes that inside backer position, one of the best in our league at San Francisco, Fred Warner, you saw him play more, out in space, outside backer, and then that. So sometimes you have to look at the skill set and then project where you think it can go and your depth on the edge that allows you to do something like that. And so we'll have a chance to visit with him on that.
All right, so a handful of things here.
A lot.
One, let's just start at the end. It doesn't sound like that Jonah Ellis knew this was coming.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like Sean's like, surprise, Jonah Ellis. I'm telling the media before I tell you that you're going to be switching positions. Get over it, which as a young player, there may not be a lot of drama around it because you don't have enough
equity.
Yeah, to sit there and make noise. But it doesn't feel good. I'll tell you right now, if I get if I get online and they're like, hey, Phil, you're going to switch up, you're going somewhere else, or you're going to do something different, but you never told me first, so I don't know what's coming, I'm going to feel some type of way. I'm going to be mad. So I can't even imagine what Jonah Ellis is going through. He's probably upset because he's getting ready to play a position or have to fight for a job, or because that's what you're doing. You're not guaranteed to make this team, even if you were drafted. So you're fighting for this job in a position that you may not have ever played before. Crazy.
Well, yeah. He said we'll meet with him on that. Now, obviously, there's a scenario where maybe his position coach reached out to him and said, "Hey, this is a possibility."
Mm-hmm.
I would like to think that's the case, but maybe it's not the case. That it's a cruel business, and you're a young player, 22 years old, Jonah Ellis. Man,
damn, he's young.
I'm going to be honest. I don't love that. Typically, like 4 to 5 times. Now, there's examples to point to. He points to Fred Warner. Typically, you're asking a player to change positions midway through a contract, midway through a rookie contract at the NFL level. Like I'm thinking of Baron Browning. They tried to move him around, just never really worked out.
Drew Sanders.
Drew Sanders is
He's
another
still
one.
trying to find a home when it comes to position.
Yeah.
It keeps going back and forth.
Your former teammate, we just talked about him recently, second-round pick DeMarcus Walker.
Yes.
They also tried moving around.
You're right.
Just never worked. Again, not to say it never works. I shouldn't say that. But oftentimes, man, if they're asking you to change position, and the pitch is, I'm sure, hey, this is your path to get onto the field. And maybe it'll all work out, but I don't love that for Jonah Ellis. Here's more from Sean on the decision to get him more snaps at ILB.
It's the decision to give him snaps going.
Oh, excuse me. That was the same cut. All right, so we'll put a pin in that conversation because that's a larger conversation because I think Jonah Ellis can play. This was the 3rd-round pick. This is the 76th pick in the 2024 draft who came out and had 5 sacks as a rookie.
Yeah, and we have to remember he was banged up a lot last year.
He was.
He had, I think I want to say the knee, and then he had the elbow, a little bit of a shoulder issue going on. So he wasn't healthy throughout that season, which hindered him from flourishing like he wanted to. So I feel sorry for someone like Jonah Ellis who wants to make noise at his position. But you're right. There's a lot of depth. If you're Sean Payton, you're still trying to get this guy who you guys drafted. You're trying to get him on the field and find a role for him. It just sucks because you're at the NFL level, and it's hard for you to adjust and adapt to another position when all you've ever played is edge, and you're coming off the edge rushing, and now you're telling me I have to drop back in coverage, and I have more of a duty to do with that.
Right.
It's hard to do. It's tough. It's going to end up in a situation where he'll make the team because he's drafted, but will he truly get that playing time if you draft another guy in his position that's already organically better than him because that's what he plays?
Right.
There's a lot that goes through with this when you have to change a position.
Yeah, and you're seeing plenty of these mocks have Josiah Trotter in the 2nd round, former All-Pro Jeremiah Trotter's son, come to Denver. Now, he doesn't have any NFL experience, but he's been playing inside linebacker for years, and he's talented enough to be your 2nd-round pick. He would likely have a leg up on Jonah Ellis despite his more veteran status going into year 3. So we'll see how all that shakes out. Interesting stuff, though. We'll leave that where it lies for now. We'll get back to some of Sean's comments tomorrow that we didn't get to. What are the analytics saying about the Denver Nuggets' chances to win the NBA title? We'll pass along that math coming up next.
The countdown to the playoffs is on. 6 games left, and the spotlight is on Aaron Gordon. Soft tissue injuries, a year-long pattern, and a postseason that demands 2 months of non-stop intensity. Can he hold up when it matters most? That answer could define the entire playoff run.
The one that's got me worried is Aaron Gordon, because this is a pattern with him. The soft tissue injuries, it's what's really set him back the last year plus. And here we are 6 games before understanding that if this team is going to make a deep run in the playoffs, you're talking about a month and a half, 2 months of just really intense playoff basketball. I'm just really worried about this guy being able to hold up.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey guys, your boy Stink here today about my long-term buddy Troy Hansford. And if you're thinking about selling your house for any reason, now might be the time to sell, still get top dollar. Believe it or not, my guy Troy is still offering his $5,000 guarantee. What is it, you ask? Well, if he can't sell your house at your price on your timeline that you agree upon beforehand, bam, going to cut you a check for $5,000. Who else makes the offer? Nobody I've ever heard of. And he makes that offer because he continues to spend a ton of money marketing his listings, has about 100 families approved and ready to buy right now. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy can buy your house all cash and close in as little as 7 days. You have a house to sell, Troy probably has that perfect buyer for you right now, waiting for you to pick up the phone and to call him. Call Troy, get your home sold for the most money. That's 720-900-4433, 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford of RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions do apply. Want to sell your house? Then call my buddy Troy, 720-900-4433.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Progressive knows you think the grass is always greener, like maybe you ride a motorcycle. But today, it's raining. So you wish you had an RV, but if you did, you'd have to listen to some guy parked next to it at a campsite play his acoustic guitar. Now, before you start wishing you had a boat, remember, your brother-in-law would invite himself every weekend.
Permission to come aboard, Captain?
But one thing that is greener is the money you could save when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
The cost of living isn't just high, it's exhausting. If you've been leaning on credit cards lately just to cover the basics like groceries, gas, and utility bills, you're essentially paying a survival tax of 20% interest or more. Why keep handing your hard-earned paycheck to the big banks when you could keep it for your family? My friends at American Financing have a better way. They're helping homeowners tap into their equity to pay off high-interest debt with mortgage rates currently in the 5s. On average, American Financing is saving their customers $800 a month. That's nearly $10,000 a year back in your pocket. It's not just a loan, it's a total financial reset. There are no upfront fees and no obligation to talk to a salary-based mortgage consultant. Here's the kicker. Start today and you could even delay 2 mortgage payments. Call American Financing at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000 or online at AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org. APR for rates in the 5s start at 6.196% for well-qualified buyers. Call 303-695-7000 for details about credit costs and terms.
If your heating and cooling system isn't keeping up, now's the time to upgrade. Enjoy better performance, improved indoor air quality, and energy savings with a new Bryant heating and cooling system. For a limited time, take advantage of rebates, incentives, and 0% financing on select Bryant systems. For quick fixes or entirely new heating and cooling systems, Bryant will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort. Visit BryantColorado.com to find a local Bryant dealer today. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Tune in Tuesday afternoons for Injury Insights with Zach Bai and Dr. Joseph Ramos to hear the latest injury news on your local teams and around the world of sports. Ramos Law. What makes us different makes us better.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250. Say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
You live in Colorado, you love those mountain views. Well, you want to maximize your window space, your glass space, and you could do that with custom windows. WindowNation.com. WindowNation.com, they're there for you with over 1,500 styles and colors to choose from. And in March, the more you buy, the more you could save. Up to 50% off all window styles right now at WindowNation.com. You can go out there, get your windows done, and enjoy that beautiful Colorado scenery. It's WindowNation.com. Visit WindowNation.com for your free consultation today.
The right financial strategies can make a huge difference, especially if you're nearing retirement. Adam Mueller talks retirement strategies with Mile High Money. Saturday mornings at 8 on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
1877 Cars
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, bottom half of hour number 4 here. What are the analytics saying about the Denver Nuggets' chance to win the NBA championship? So, Phil, you know, throughout the NFL season, we have like a little staple segment. It's usually on like a Tuesday or Wednesday. We talk about what the analytics say about the Denver Broncos.
I'm always looking forward to it.
Yeah, and it's fun just to put numbers to things. And when you talk about analytics, I want to keep this in mind. Like, they don't have opinions. They collect data points.
That's it.
And so throughout the Broncos season, we were referencing ESPN's Football Power Index. Well, ESPN has the same thing and has had for years. Not FPI, but BPI, Basketball Power Index. And it's the same idea, gathering every data point known to man concerning the game of basketball over the course of the entire season, putting it all in their supercomputers, simulating the season thousands and thousands of times. Again, it doesn't have an opinion. It's just numbers. It's just math. Now, it's not gospel either, all right? So take that into consideration as well. So ESPN's BPI, Basketball Power Index, ESPN's analytics, they have the Nuggets as the 6th best team in the NBA, behind the Oklahoma City Thunder, San Antonio Spurs, Detroit Pistons, New York Knicks, Cleveland Cavs, and then it's Denver. All right? They're the only team in the top 10 in ESPN's analytics that has a negative defensive analytical score. All right? And that sort of tracks with what we've been watching, talking about. So here's what ESPN analytics say about the Nuggets' odds to win their first round series. 67%. 67% likelihood the Denver Nuggets are advancing to the second round. Here's where it becomes problematic from a math standpoint. The chance that they win their second round series, according to ESPN's analytics, is just 20%, Phil.
But you know what, Z? We've been talking through this, discussing options with the Denver Nuggets and seeding. And let's just say that they don't get to the number 3 seed, because it doesn't look like that the Nuggets are going to get to that number 3 seed. That means they fall short, and now they're in the 4 seed, right? They're in that 4 spot. Well, if they're in that 4 spot, my guessing is they're going to play the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yep.
We know how that can go, because Minnesota is a thorn in the backside of the Denver Nuggets. Also, psychologically, something just off when you play the Minnesota Timberwolves, because they're physical. You know, they're very aggressive. Ant-Man's one that has done a great job of defending Jamal Murray. So there's some drama there because of the past. And so, yes, I still believe even if we have to play the Minnesota Timberwolves, we can still win, the Nuggets that is. But it's going to be a rough game. It's going to be physical. And the last time there was a physical game being played, it was against the Warriors not too long ago. And the Warriors banged up 3 of our guys. Zeke Naji, Spencer Jones, Cam Johnson went out with the back spasms. So that's going to be a long series, Z's. Although I do believe we'll win that, you got to go to the next one, right? Round 2. Well, in this case, if you're the 4th seed, you play Minnesota, stick with me here. You play with Minnesota. The second round, my guessing is you would play the Thunder. Those are 2 tough teams in a row that play damn good defense that you have to get past in order to get to the next round.
Well, that's why these numbers are saying they only have a 20% chance to win that round. A 20% chance in this scenario to beat the Thunder. And if you want to take it a step further, the chance that they do beat the Thunder and get to the Western Conference Finals, all right, is 8%. 8%. Chance to actually win the championship, it's down to 3.5%. Now, there's context here because the data that they're collecting is from a disjointed season, but the math doesn't really care. It's just going to spit out what it's going to spit out after all those simulations. So it's kind of just like a sobering look at what the quote-unquote nerds think of the Denver Nuggets' chances. It's not great. Is there context to all these data points? Yep. But it's part of their story. And someone like the Oklahoma City Thunder, just to stick on them, their second best player, unequivocally, all NBA player, max player, Jalen Williams, who we saw, last time we saw him in the playoffs, he was scoring 40 points in the NBA Finals. He's missed, almost 50 games this year. That'd be like missing Jamal Murray for 50 games, and they're still the number 1 seed. They have missed Isaiah Hartenstein for dozens of games. They have missed Alex Caruso for dozens of games, and they've still been able to absorb these losses and continue to play well. In the case of the Nuggets, they just mostly haven't. And so, but they're playing well right now. They've won 6 games in a row, longest win streak in 2026. They have the Jazz tomorrow night in Utah. Should be an automatic win to make it 7 in a row. And the bottom line is, if you want to finish in the 3rd seed, and you have to go back to the 1995 Houston Rockets for the last time a non-top 3 seed won the NBA championship, which is likely going to be the scenario. But if you want to get to that 3rd seed, the Lakers need to lose 3 games down the stretch, and the Denver Nuggets need to win every single game down the stretch. Now, it's noteworthy that the Denver Nuggets are already riding a 6-game win streak, and if they won out, that would be 12 wins in a row. It's hard to believe, but at no time in the Nikola Jokic era have the Denver Nuggets won 10 games in a row.
Which is crazy to even think.
It is. They've got to 9 a couple times, and they always lose the 10th. So you're asking, them to do something that they've never done. You're asking the Lakers to lose 3 games. If you look at their schedule, they have the Cavs here tonight, and that's a 1.5-point spread. So things could get real interesting if Cleveland goes into Los Angeles and wins. But they have Cleveland. This is the Lakers schedule. Cleveland, at OKC, at Dallas, home against OKC, at Golden State, Phoenix, and Utah. They need to lose 3 of those final 7 games.
Can you see them losing 3?
I can if they lose tonight, because you could lose one of those 2 games against Oklahoma City, or maybe both of them.
Yep.
All right, but one of them and then get tripped up somewhere else. Phoenix.
I would say Phoenix, because Phoenix is still fighting for something, and they're one of those teams that's what'd you call it? Plucky.
Yeah.
There we go. And so I can see the Lakers dropping 2 for sure, but 3 games, and maybe, just maybe, the Nuggets can go ahead and run the table 6 more games and find a way to get to that 3 spot. But man, it's gonna be hard to do.
Well, the Lakers have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of their last 13. And now we're asking them to lose 3 of their last 7 and the Nuggets to win out. Just looking at it with clear, sober eyes, it's probably not going to happen. You have to prepare yourself mentally for that dogfight in the first round against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And you talk about a worst-case scenario. If this team with title aspirations can't get out of the first round, we're going to have some big boy conversations here.
I don't even want to think about it right now.
Me either. And I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Nuggets will beat Minnesota, but I do believe that is going to be the matchup. All right, what did we learn today in Denver sports? Something very relevant if we're hoping for an Avs parade. We'll pass along a bit of news next.
All season, we've assumed that Jared Bednar might be gone if the Avalanche didn't win the Stanley Cup. But now there are reports that he will get a contract extension as long as Colorado gets out of the first round.
Please don't tell me expectations are lower. A report is a report is a report. But I just don't like the idea of short of a first-round exit, he's good. Are we sure?
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
What's going on, everybody? Phillip Lindsay here with the one and only Williams Jewelers. And I know there's at least 50 of you listening to me right now who are thinking about popping that question here soon. And if that's the case, and I'm right, then you know you need a diamond. So let me save you some time and money by telling you something as simple as this. Whether you're starting your next chapter with your perfect diamond engagement ring, or celebrating a new milestone, or hey, finally just doing something special for yourself for once, because everybody deserves to be spoiled at least once in their life, this is where it all begins for you. Imagine the finest jewelry legends all in one store together, making you feel just like family, and their service is going to reflect that. So come shop the finest loose diamonds in Denver. They have every size, shape, and price range you can imagine, and the largest selection of engagement ring settings I've ever set eyes on. And not only are they going to share the secrets of the business with you, but they're going to give you the best price in Colorado, guaranteed. So why wouldn't you want to create moments and memories for yourself and the ones you love, of course, by going to Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche, Denver's first family of fine jewelers, located in Cherry Creek North on 3rd Avenue, and also in Inglewood at Broadway and Bellevue. And don't forget to mention my name, Phillip Lindsay, when you step through one of those doors.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to carshield.com. That's carshield.com today.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance, but there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options. The Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of fella who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
A real pioneer.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
Colorado! Zach By here for 5280 Exteriors. Guys, we've had the driest winter in decades, over 50 years in some areas, and that means a higher wildfire risk. Now's the time to protect your home. 5280 Exteriors installs fire-resistant, non-combustible, low-maintenance upgrades built to handle Colorado's extreme weather. Choose James Hardy Siding, Timber Tech decking, and Pella Impervia fiberglass windows. Plus, get 60 months no-interest financing. 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
Jacob's Law and 303 Law 4040. I want to tell you about one of the cases I'm most proud of. And it's not because the number is eye-popping, although it is. It's because the clients trusted us to get them justice, and we delivered for them. Our clients were a wonderful couple, weren't looking to get rich. In fact, they kept saying, Dan, we're not looking to set any records here. But they were seriously injured, and despite promising to take care of them, when it came time to do the right thing, the insurance companies played hardball. We set it for trial and wound up getting $8.5 million. Plus, my lovely wife, Kimberly, was able to get all of their medical bills wiped out, putting hundreds of thousands of extra dollars in the clients' pockets. We were proud to help because our clients were good-hearted people who deserved justice. We hope you never need us, but if you do, we are here to help at 303 Law 4040, where you always get to meet directly with me and my lovely wife, Kimberly. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. That's 303 Law 4040.
As America's #1 motorcycle insurer, Progressive has your back.
Oh, like if I need a replacement part?
Sure, we can help with that.
Ah, nice. Hey, I just entered this online contest for coolest bike in the world. You think maybe you can vote for me?
Actually, we just do insurance, not popularity contests.
Yeah, I know. But what's your email? I'll just send you the link real quick. You can vote like 100 times a day. They'll never know.
To be clear, Progressive has your back for insurance only. So get a quote and see if you can save.
So what I'm hearing is there's a little bit of wiggle room.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, covered subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions.
Spring is in the air, and Alev's long-lasting pain relief is here to keep you moving. The days are longer, and the flowers are blooming. Whether it's gardening, yard work, or just spending more time outdoors, spring has a way of getting us moving despite any body pain. That's where Aleve can keep you going. With just one dose, Aleve gives you long-lasting body pain relief for up to 12 hours. From sunup to sundown, Aleve's got your back. Try Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
SodaWeightLoss.com is state-of-the-art, and SodaWeightLoss.com helped me lose 60 pounds a few years ago, and I've never gained the weight back. Why? I know how to eat, what to eat, and when to eat. I had a real nutritionist there to help me along the way through my journey. I joined Soda for a short time to have results that last a lifetime. Call them up, 1-866-800-SODA. You want to lose that weight? 1-866-800-SODA, online at SodaWeightLoss.com. They are there for you like they were there for me. It's SodaWeightLoss.com. Soda Weight Loss is state-of-the-art.
Stream Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app. Powered by Advanced Tax Solutions. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
I got some news to pass along from one of the most important people in all of Denver sports as it relates to a championship. I'll give you that in about 10 seconds. First, come join Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan for our home opener party Friday at the Thirsty Lion Restaurant in Union Station. Guys, Dover and Cecil will be broadcasting live from the patio from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., followed by The Drive from 2 to 6. Thirsty Lion will be registering people to win a $250 gift card. So if you're looking for somewhere to go before or after the game, come hang out with us at the Thirsty Lion Restaurant at Union Station. Stopping by, friend of the show, Anilo Piro. What up, AP? There
we go. Thanks, Dante. Just a reminder, it's me and just Dante tonight on DST.
Oh.
After that blood. No, I'm just joking. I'm hanging in there, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little sad. I'm a big international soccer fan, and my Italian national team fell to Bosnia-Herzegovina today.
They're going to miss the World Cup, aren't they?
They're going to miss the World Cup for the third time in a row.
Dude, that is
And I'm kind of
nuts.
sad. Yeah, man. I was getting ready to shell out this summer because it's in the United States and Canada and Mexico, and guess my summer just opened up, boys.
Man, oh man. Are tickets on sale for that yet?
I believe so. I was going to just go secondary market, which probably wasn't the smartest thing because I know the lottery is going to be a mess. So I'd imagine they go on sale soon if they haven't been.
Okay. What did we learn today in Denver sports? I think something significant. There was some angst last night after the Avs game. Legendary Avs game. Just a 9-2 beatdown. Just historical fashion, the 9th time ever that the Avs have put up 9 goals in a single game. But there was a downside. Cale Makar never came out of the locker room in the third period, and he took a shot there in the second where he got hit against the boards where it looked like his shoulder, might have taken some real contact. And the report is that it's not considered serious, but he may miss the next few games in order to get him back to 100% health heading into the playoffs. Anilo, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal for sure, especially with Dallas kind of situated where they are in the standings. But I think the reality of it is the Avalanche still control their own destiny, right, as they essentially have for the entirety of this season. And I think whatever it takes to get Cale Makar right, if that means missing a few games here, a few games there, you got to do it because it's a cup or bust season for this Avalanche team. So I understand it's disappointing. There is some pressure on this Avalanche team, knowing Dallas is looming behind them. But I think you got to look out for the long-term interest of your organization, and that, of course, is the slog that is the NHL playoffs.
I know we're going to talk more about this tomorrow, but we heard from Sean Payton earlier today, and we definitely learned some stuff. One of the things is Phil Jonah Ellis may be switching to inside linebacker. Immediately my radar goes off that, man, maybe this all works out, but I don't like this as far as today goes.
I'm with you, Z. I don't like it either. I don't like it for Jonah Ellis specifically because it's hard, right? You're playing at the highest level you possibly could play in. And now you're telling this man he has to switch positions to a position he probably hasn't played before. Or if he played it, it was probably in high school. And so now he's in an uphill battle, trying to battle with somebody else somebody else who's gonna come in and with the draft process. And now you're battling with this young man, and you're not comfortable at that position. So now what do? All right, you're in a Drew Sanders situation where you're just floating around, and it's never good as a player to be floating around because all of a sudden you're there, you're drafted, you're happy, and 3 years go by, and you're out on the streets and you don't have a home because you can't get acclimated in just one position.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, and I don't want to say I want to take what Sean said with a grain of salt, but I think there's so much runway before we get to OTAs and training camp and the offseason program that maybe he is just kind of talking out of the side of his mouth to a certain extent. But Jonah Ellis is a guy that I've always thought has some of the most upside of the untapped players defensively for the Broncos. So clearly there's a hole that they're trying to fill. I mean, we know that linebacker in general is one of their positions of need, and they end up bringing back Singleton and Sternad. But maybe it's Denver trying to get creative and trying to figure out a way to get Jonah Ellis on the field more. But we have some time for that.
Yeah, we'll see how that all shakes out. I think there's something to it. We'll see what direction it actually trends. And then I want to revisit this tomorrow. But one of the things that Sean said is that the backup quarterback spot is not etched in stone. We may have a quarterback competition this summer, Phil. And is that between Stidham and Sam Ehlinger? Could there be someone else in the mix? I don't know. But I thought that was interesting that Sean Payton goes from this is a young, dangerous player. Watch out to, he's gonna fight for his job this summer.
Hey, Sam Ehlinger, if this is true and it's a quarterback competition with the QB2, my man saying we're back. So it's going to be interesting to see, and I can't wait to dive deep into it tomorrow with you. Have a discussion, maybe a little back and forth.
What do you think, quarterback 2 competition this summer, AP?
I think it has to be, right? I mean, you saw what Stidham did in the AFC Championship game, and questions about him. I mean, there's a reason why they brought him back as early as they did in the offseason as well, and Sam Ehlinger.
Yeah. All right. We'll pick these conversations up tomorrow at 2 o'clock. But for now, we're going to step aside. It's Denver Sports Tonight coming up next.
Baseball is back, and Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is leading off the season in style. Join us Friday, April 3rd for our home opener party at Thirsty Lion Restaurant at Union Station. Dover and Cecil will get the party started live from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Then the Tribe will come out of the bullpen to close things out from 2 to 6.
How about that?
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either. Because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself and Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, what's up, guys? Zach here on behalf of my friends at the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, talking to you men out there who feel tired. You're dragging through the day. You're not sleeping well. The workouts aren't producing results. A lot of us just chalk it up to getting older, but for a lot of guys, those are classic symptoms of low testosterone. Guys, Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, they're experts in low T and men's sexual health. They've treated tens of thousands of men across Colorado, and now they're helping guys go even further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1, PDA, and more, all designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. Guys, go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com, take that 2-minute low T quiz, and then from there you can schedule your consult. They'll draw your blood. They'll have the results within 30 minutes. All right, the appointment is just $99. That includes a medical consult, testosterone, and a PSA test. And if you start treatment that day, your visit's free. So call them at 720-440-7900 or visit them online at RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
When the Nuggets are knocking down threes, you score too. If Denver hits 15 or more three-pointers, you score a free 28-ounce Gatorade Lower Sugar the very next day at your friendly King Soopers. Gatorade Lower Sugar is scientifically formulated with Gatorade's #1 proven electrolyte blend and has 75% less sugar than Gatorade Thirst Quencher and no artificial flavors, sweeteners, or colors. Big shots deserve next-level hydration. Only at King Soopers.
Hey guys, it's Mark Schlereth. I just made one of the best decisions of my life. I got rid of my glasses. I went to Cutarelli Vision and had refractive lens exchange, RLE. I wore glasses for distance vision, but I got to that inevitable point in life where I was always needing those reading glasses just to do about anything, and half the time I couldn't find them. Seeing menus, texting, reading my computer, or studying film, it was a struggle. But now I see the world perfectly, near and far, without any glasses, thanks to Cutarelli Vision RLE, the perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You'll never develop a cataract. Dr. Cutarelli is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. You can trust him to know if it's the right time for you and RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consultation at ColoradoRLE.com. Cutarelli Vision, RLE, no readers, glasses, or contacts, or cataracts. ColoradoRLE.com.
At Belco Credit Union, we want to make your dream renovation a reality. Maybe that means a modern kitchen upgrade or a luxurious new bathroom. With Belco's Home Equity Choice line, you can get easy access to funds with the freedom and convenience of a home equity line of credit, plus the security and stability of a home equity loan. Plus, Belco is also offering low rates for qualified borrowers. Learn more at belco.org/choiceline. Belco is an equal opportunity housing lender. Belco, banking for everyone.
You know what scared Kathy more than surgery? Giving up her active life, turning down opportunities to do the things she loves.
I found myself saying, no, I don't want to do that because of pain. It was really limiting my activities in every way.
And then came the diagnosis.
You need 2 full knee replacements. I don't have time for a double knee replacement. And I don't like pain. So... no.
But that's not how her story ends. She tried something different. QC Kinetics. It was cutting edge, but natural and much easier on her body, with thousands of patient success stories.
I went to QC Kinetics. Within a couple of weeks, I was absolutely pain-free. No pain. I feel fantastic. Too much life to live, and I want to stay in motion as long as I possibly can.
Don't let pain decide what you say yes or no to. Live your best life. They'll make sure of it at QC Kinetics, starting with a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics 303-900-8986.